Wasn't expecting a mirror match to be happening here either, because this comp deviates away, and dapr on chamber is one of those big deviations. Starts it out with a bang.
Straight on the other side, it's the 1-for-1. Both jets going down. Centerpieces for either team, the players that they build around the most. It's going to be creating it now into a 4v4 in the pistol round, and it is explosive at that. Tex firing off a couple of those shots at a headhunter. Not going to be rewarded with the kill, but zombs is quite low, and Android just peeking in that slight corner. Shaz falling. No more breach. It's going to be quite difficult for them now. You're probably going to see this round slow down a bit now as we reach the minute mark.
Sick playing the Astra is a massive surprise. Peeks his head over, almost took out Tex. He knows where that rendezvous went to. Tex is in some major trouble, just backs off, and that allows dapr and Sick to be able to control this drop.
And dapr just launches himself into the back of the side. He opens it up with one of the kills. He finds the third as well in the round. Why not? The Tex falling now. It's all up to the two players.
Oh,
on NRG, the aftershock, eeiu. He's caught zombs. Spike is down. Both players weak on Sentinels here. They have to play this cautiously. And you can see this crossfire that's being set up now. You know, the eeiu is playing just round that corner. Quick little shot at a classic little B-hop for info. They know that Sick is playing up there. 37 health to his name. And the cross is being watched. Despite the fusel in process, an easy round it felt like here for NRG. Opening things up here. And kind of, I think, going against our expectations for what this map might have been.
Yeah, I mean, everything is... There simply are no expectations. Sentinels have played this map once, and with a pretty different comp. I mean, Sick was playing Sky. But here, saving the aftershock until the very end of the round just allows eeiu to turn this into a 2v2. And both of these players were playing from drop because dapr had to get back over to the dish area with his rendezvous. Sentinels are not going to force up into this round. And I went back and I took a look at Sentinels when they played this at Champions. And something that sprung out to me, even though the compositions are different, every single attacking round that Sentinels played on Fracture against Crew, they ran a split. They never defaulted. So this is actually slightly different. You see how they're spread around the map? dapr's just taking dish control. They have then zombs watching over towards tree. This is a bit of a different look. The strategy for Sentinels was quite one-dimensional when it came to Champions. It worked incredibly well. But this slower pace is slightly different. If you fast flank against them, though, they will collect you. So ShahZaM in a bit of danger if he feels like it's safe to push all the way up to halls.
Still a dangerous round for them. Tex, oh my goodness. Almost got the head taken clean off there. 5 HP. dapr going to be clearing away. Just that trip for the moment.
And here's that flank coming in from ShahZaM. They're normally so aware of this. Can Shaz and zombs deal with it?
Doesn't look likely. ShahZaM trying to spray them down. Just dashes to safety, but he has the backup now. Just behind him, playing together with hazed. Giving him that old man buff now as they just push them now from every single perceivable angle of halls. Somehow TenZ gets that kill while stunned up. Watching themselves a drop there, but all the players eventually falling. And 4 players surviving for NRG on this round. Wasn't particularly expensive for them.
No, not at all. This is going to set up NRG with a really lovely bonus round. This is the kind of round where you want to see something explosive from NRG. Maybe a trap play set up in halls. It looks like they're going to push the breach and the jet over towards B. So maybe some kind of flash and dash play. It's ShahZaM, the player with the Vandal on his side. ShahZaM and Tex both buying rifles here. So not a full bonus round. And it looks like Sentinels are set up for a B split, but maybe Shaz pushes that fault line towards halls to obfuscate where they're going. Let's see this battle in tree.
Quick flash. ShahZaM just has to hug that corner, but they know exactly where he is still. He finds ShahZaM. Pushing deep in them when the tour de force dapr supporting him from behind. Still, it's the pincer. They want to try and convert this bonus, and they do get that one pick onto Shaz. Bursting themselves through the box. zombs is in trouble, 29 health, and they've got the spike down. NRG in control of this round, despite the fact that it's a 2v3. Pushing right through the record star. And they're still getting all the picks now. Hazed collecting them, and it's down to a 1v1. Him versus TenZ.
He has no idea. He just doesn't know where TenZ is whatsoever. Sick ran through tunnel to try and help zombs, and TenZ was lagging behind. But that's actually set up a situation here where TenZ is able to get the spike safely and head over towards B. But at this point, hazed, having not made contact towards A, has an idea that the spike is going to go down on B. TenZ has been nasty in 1v1 so far. Has he got it this time?
We'll see. Oh my goodness, a quick dink. Spike is down, and hazed knows exactly where he is. Smoke TenZ just trying to fake that he could be crossing, eventually going to be B-hopping behind those dice, but still this 1v1 is so important for them right round the corner, and he hits the shot. A quick little kill for him, and a must-win round for Sentinels. They did not want that bonus to go in the way of NRG.
That's a massive play from TenZ towards the end. Unfortunate for hazed, because he did such a good job in the middle of that round. But TenZ plays this immaculately. He's stuck in the corner, dashes away from the early headshot. 124 damage done to him, but still manages to get away, smoke his exit, and re-swing with the Vandal. That was an expensive round, but it's actually NRG's economy that comes out looking a little worse here. And Sentinels once more set up for a bit of a default. The Astra being added into their composition instead of the Sky. 6 change to the agent comp overall. Means that it's a little easier to default on this map. You've got the Sucks to be able to stop any defensive aggression. But this setup towards A looks dangerous. Tex takes first contact. Looks like a fault line from eeiu. And Android was going to swing. Shaz has felt it out. Baited out the trap play. And now it's going to be on ShahZaM hiding in Arcade.
dapr has been a bit of a menace here at Arcade. Time being brought down. That's hazed taking the angle. That's Sick falling. More Astra for their comp. ShahZaM has been spotted, though, behind these boxes. Needs a teammate to play off of. They know dapr's there, and that's going to be the second one for hazed. Good performance thus far. Sentinels are slowly creeping up through the B main. Just seeing if they can find something now. A lot of pressure on TenZ's shoulders to see if he can try and convert something. 2 players down. It's going to be hard.
They've been smoked off as well. He currently has the spike. There's only 40 seconds. They don't have any map control towards halls if they try and pivot. This has to be a B hit. And even though the majority of the players are holding from kind of canteen, spawn kind of area for NRG, ShahZaM still has tower control. And TenZ spending all of this time clearing out the underground, but that's just not where they are at all. This feels impossible for Sentinels.
I really feel like they should just be saving the rifles in this situation. And a stun just queued up. It's 12 seconds remaining. Surely they're not going to go for this.
10 seconds left.
Backing away. Yeah, it's just going to be the save.
And this is where Tex can make it expensive, actually. Oh, just run straight into zombs. All right. Never mind. Not this round.
Yeah, just keep those rifles on hand.
But the pressure does start to be applied. The pressure starts to be applied here to Sentinel's economy. They're 3-1 down. Remember, this is their map pick. This is NRG's permaban. This is not a good start. They've come into this looking for a bit more of a slow approach, but they're giving NRG opportunities to find those individual 1v1s, and it's what the desk were talking about. NRG are so strong in those positions. Ender was bringing up Tex and his success in early 1v1s. That's also the case for ShahZaM, and for hazed here. He's 6-1. The old man energy is pounding. He's getting revenge for the PAX Invitational and the 30-bomb Summer Cup.
The annals of history you're reaching into there.
Oh, there's a rivalry that extends. The ancient archives must be pried open. Here's a B-split, though, with pace.
Oh, this is fast. It's stunned up, though. TenZ might find it difficult to collect that kill. hazed, he wins it out. ShahZaM taking out the Astra player on the other side of things as well. Sick and new to this role. Again, it's going to be Sentinels. 2 players down.
And so much on ShahZaM to try and find another duel. This time it does go the way of the Sentinels, but ShahZaM is instantly there with the trade.
ShahZaM's working his way around the trade again. Dude, ShahZaM is so good. This is one of the scariest aspects of NRG as a team. It's how clean their fundamentals are. It's the way they play off of each other. Always there, ready to just capitalize if a teammate takes a duel. And dapr, bulldog in hand, I imagine just wants to try and make it expensive for them. You can see him, he was tapping the orb a couple of times there, just trying to bait a swing, but NRG not taking that bait for now. Very patient play. In fact, the jiggle peek is just showing how much they respect Sentinels. Not willing to give them really an inch. Still works its way up, but ShahZaM, well, he wins it out. 4 kills of him. Drops the bag, a bit of disrespect. Sentinels, no strangers to that.
No, not at all. And that's one of the things that I was looking forward to in this game too. You've got the battle of the streamers with TenZ against ShahZaM, and then just in general, the level of, I guess, playfulness that these guys have, but also incredible competitiveness that falls into every aspect of the game. His Sentinels, they have to eco here. You're looking at the ults online as well, and eeiu's got up to his breach ult. That's a great tool to be able to defend with at any kind of position. Shaz, of course, with one of his own, but unless they get an early pick, and the early picks haven't been going their way, unless they get that early pick it's hard to justify investing ultimates.
The game plan's been lacking a little bit from Sentinels. And they know dapr is just trying to work his way in here. You can see they committed the aftershock just to clear him out of that corner. Making sure that they hold down dish control.
dapr's actually been playing pretty passively here on this chamber. Just sets up his trademark over towards the bridge side. Now going to regroup. And it looks like this is going to be a big pop into sand. Nobody there to... Oh, they're actually slowing down the pace. They're using this utility, and it looks like they're set at any point to burst. As soon as they do, eeiu is going to crumble this push.
He seems to be so aware of it as well. Ult in hand. He knows that it could be in sand.
They have the trademark here. It's just off the trademark. Look at this, around the corner in sand.
Stun forces the dash. Straight back into halls. They know that a lot of the players, the Sentinels, are going to be grouped around this area. This smoke probably going to be fading soon. It's eeiu flashing through just to make sure that Android doesn't get caught unaware. They're grouped up now, 5 in halls smokes. Try and get them into the site. The spam damage TenZ is taking so much of it. It's going to be the Viper's Pit drop down. It'd still be winnable for them, presuming that they don't get taken out by a lot of this spam. But it looks like they're just trying to play post-plant all from halls here.
Still 2 players coming into sight, and eeiu still has that breach ult. They're going to scale quickly after it as well, just trying to spam in as much as possible, soften them up.
Pull.
Here comes the ult.
Oh, it's all combo together, but a counter-rolling thunder comes through. They're all vulnerable up at the back of the site. 2 quick kills for them, but still not out of it just yet. Sentinels down to the final 2 players. The aftershock to defuse, still being stuck by Tex. Shaz! What an absolute menace he is. 2 kills for him. It's all down to zombs. At the back of the site, the spam comes down. They're going to be able to get that plant in time. A rough round for Sentinels. Almost winnable for them. Still, they made it expensive. Committing to 1 ultimate. And remember, was just an eco for them. Still, I think they preferred a round win.
Zombs could have been the playmaker there. Obviously, Shaz is the one that gets a bunch of kills and makes it look doable. But Zombs somehow survived on site against everything. Just bullets flying, breach ult used, and Astro Wall splitting himself off. And still was able to rat around the site and get into a position where he could have clutched that. The 1v2 was a possibility. But now Sentinels, they got rifles back online. They need to start putting rounds on the board. 5-1 down against NRG on your map pick. That is not a good start. Got your breach and your jet here looking to try and take control. Tex has been stunned, so he can't scope in on his tour de force. dapr's got the spike up towards Dish as well here. So, again, I'm anticipating at all times Sentinels to pull out one of these fast rounds that they were doing at Champions. But everything has been slow-paced so far for them on attack.
Just holding across, I suppose. Nice little flash will push Tex off the angle. Still has a tour de force, but look, the lack of committal. Now it looks like they're trying to take a bit of horse control. The dash. Ooh, my goodness. TenZ wants to try and catch him unaware. Cheeky play. Just gets rid of a bit of that utility, and now they're going to be backing off again a minute in this round, and it has been, Josh, as you were saying, so slow from Sentinels.
And think about what that does. eeiu hasn't had to use any of his utility. Still has the aftershock. Still has both flashes. Android still has a molly to be able to use. And if he gets a kill, he's got that Viper roll. They're not really putting pressure on NRG in this early round. They're denying some information, sure, but broadly speaking, NRG are in control here. I don't know whether you expect this angle as well. There is a possibility dapr dies to this and just drops the spike at Dish, which would be horrendous. Here comes the Astro Wall.
Yep. Cosmic Divide splits across the site, and now you're seeing them just try and get in on the site. Just stops for the moment in halls, but there's a quick peek. Android holds it down from the upper section of it, but the drop down, not able to get too much more than that. 3 kills for Android, and Sick, last player standing. Catch that timing, finds the second one, but does he know the third is on the site? Unlikely. Even if some ended up missing that shot. An impossible scenario. Glad we switched away from that. There's kids watching.
NRG are up 6-1, and it's another eco round here for Sentinels. NRG have been completely in control of the tempo. Even here, it feels like an A hit is coming. You know that you've given up dish control. The trademark gets broken. Everything telegraphs an A split in this circumstance. And then it comes through, and it doesn't even have that explosiveness that Sentinels were doing well at Champions. It's a slow trickle onto the site that allows Android to be able to pick up 3. This looks like it's got a bit more pace in it on the eco round. Here comes TenZ with his knives.
Oh my goodness. Dangerously close. You see Som having to back away with the op now, and yeah, TenZ with the Blade Storm. And they've got dapr with that tour de force, I believe, in hand. A lot of opportunities for them to find some picks. These are the most dangerous of eco rounds. Use those ultimates to offset the economical disadvantage they might have. And you can see burst the play. The updraft as TenZ just looks to try and find ahead any sort of target. Feels like it's been so long since we've seen Sentinels leading with any sort of advantage in these rounds, but at least you're going to get the plant down.
They get the plant down quite easily there. eeiu still has Aftershock. Could have tried to use it to deny. I think that means he's going to use it as part of the retake. And that's going to put pressure on zombs to swing. The person that's in the great position to clutch this is TenZ. He's going to have a fantastic crossfire as these guys commit. Has to be smoked off.
Knives popped off here by Som. There is the Aftershock as well to try and clear off this side. ShahZaM 4, but look at that. TenZ tries to make it work, just whiffs those knives. Som with a quick right click. Som was vulnerable to up there, but still trying to find them. Now we're seeing it isolated down to the 1v1, but Android happily takes this one just in time as well. Another round for NRG, so close for them. You see, dapr was doing so much good work there with the tour de force from Arcade. As soon as that smoke faded, he was catching all the players trying to push up on the site, but still not enough.
And isn't this an unfamiliar sight? 7-1 NRG.
This is ridiculous.
Sentinels. I mean, people were talking about it. Sentinels, you talked about the community narrative that they haven't been practicing particularly. TenZ has moved to LA as the mass exodus of Valorant players goes towards Texas for better latency. TenZ moves in the opposite direction. There was all of this circling and swirling, thinking about an NRG upset, but I wasn't expecting it to happen here on map 1. Here we go, a stun again. hazed so far aggressive in this one. He manages to take it and the trade. dapr and Sick both fall. And they have dominated the bridge side. I like this aggressive counterplay, though, from Sentinels. They take A, and it's going to be a post plant, but they've just completely lost dish.
Yeah. A very potent position you want to be trying to hold down if you are planting on A, but they, once again, they're playing these post plants now. You can see Shaz has to be so cautious. He was watching the flank in case work their way around. Players now looking to try and pop out. 4 players on the draw. Force drop down, a bit of spam comes through. Android getting chunked down to about half health. Dangerous situation. The stun comes through. TenZ, he's got to try and create some magic. Rolling Thunder going to be catching onto a whole bunch of them, but zombs holds it down once more. Flash is going to catch him, has to back off into the corner. Now time is running low. NRG to get a move on now as the pace is really starting to get turned up. Finally, Sentinels are able to get another round on the board, making it 7-2.
They're going to need some more in order to make this one a competitive map. What I liked about Sentinels the last time they played Fracture was that they had a flow to their game. It felt like they really understood the push and the pull. And this round is one of those examples. As NRG push out really heavily for that dish control, Sentinels realize holes must be open and they barrel their way through and play a post plant where they have some creative positions and the breach ult to lean onto. But unless NRG give them those opportunities, Sentinels just feel like they're running their heads into a brick wall. Here's Som once more. Up in hand, peeking towards zombs, towards tree. He knows the kind of area that zombs would have been playing in here. Aftershock pulls him out.
Oh, almost set up for the perfect kill. Just whiffs it though, has to dash away and falling very low. This is another fast burst. Look at that stun. The placement of it finally. And also with a bit of momentum. 2 picks going their way with Som out of the picture as well. This becomes so much more easier for them in the round. Cosmic Divide committing just towards the tail end, and NRG are so far back right now. It looks like they're already setting up for just a bit of a save.
It would be very surprising. I think they're trying to hunt for anybody that was playing on the other side of the map. Worried about a bit of a lurk, although Sentinels haven't been 4-1 defaulting. I would be a little surprised if NRG don't try and commit to this. I know that they're really, really far away, and it does look like they're setting up for a save. I suppose, yeah, the money is not great for eeiu and Android. They just want to be able to play for that Viper ult in the next round.
Yeah, hold it down. You can see Shaz already just scoping it out.
Yeah, this is going to get a little bit stickier. Shaz pokes his head in here, but they have enough money to be able to at least attempt, make it expensive for NRG.
Just trading the utility. What a shot from Sick and the wallbang through the dish. Sentinels are just trying to take as many weapons away from them as humanly possible. The round is just a given.
It is.
Oh boy.
They managed to keep 2 rifles in there, which isn't bad. I mean, they still have Android's ult to be able to play around. This next round is going to be winnable. Obviously, Summon Tech's not close to those huge ults that can tip an eco round in any kind of position. But okay, NRG are going to take a timeout here. And as hazed consults with the coach, JoshRT. I want to talk a little bit about what Sentinels have been doing better, or rather the difference between those early rounds and the later rounds. I think one of the key differences is that NRG's defensive setups were rotating quite a lot at the beginning, and Sentinels have been able to sniff out where the defenders are going to be playing at the beginning of these rounds. Like, for example, in that prior round, the flash setup towards Arcade manages to isolate a player, and they snap up that kill really easily with TenZ updraft dashing into B tower. And that's the kind of thing that they were cautious about at the beginning. They were trying to feel out, looking for the areas of the map that NRG were fighting over. Now I feel like Sentinels have got a little bit of a feel of what NRG are up to, and so you need to see that adjustment from the defenders as well. NRG, I think, need to be looking at other areas of the map to try and pressure and play aggressively in. They've been playing pretty heavily towards Arcade. They've been playing pretty heavily towards Tree as well. Maybe it's time to try and start fighting like another trap play in halls, or have the op watching dish to try and catch anyone who's contacting in. Although they can't afford an op this time.
Yeah, switching it up. In fact, they're forcing into this round, Josh. NRG buying up. So I'm only going to be able to get the judge in hand. Just want to be buying up with those rifles. And here's a bit of an adjustment. Okay, Viper's Pit, Android locks up Arcade.
Oh my word.
Okay. Well, disgusting shot. Yeah, a disgusting shot. Chad's going to be picking up the op. He's like, okay, well, my turn now. See what we can do. But they know that they've given up drop control. dapr just trying to find the angle. In fact, he gets it. Survives on 10 HP. Is that one out now? Brings it to the 4v4 for them. Still, as I say that, on the other side of things, that's Shaz falling.
Same angle. eeiu ripping off another head on the same angle. TenZ and Shaz both falling here. Similar kind of theme with Sick and dapr working together to just contact in through dish. And now they're going to return. And it looks like they're going to try and get through this Viper's Pit. But what possible utility do they have to put any pressure on Android? It's going to be so difficult.
They're just going to contact in. Look, he's got his camera down to the floor just so we can see them before they really see him. And there you go, stunned straight through the choke. eeiu's anticipating it was going to be a fast little burst there from Sentinels. 2 players remaining. They still want to play into this one.
The Sentinels' money is still good. You might as well go for it. As the Viper utility falls, now Sick and Zombs actually have an opportunity. eeiu's been so good at anchoring this position so far this round.
They need to try and pick up the pace now, though. That one pick going away, eeiu. What a play from him in this round. Anchoring it down as well. Just winning countless duels against Sentinels when they were trying to peak this. And 8 rounds on the board for them. It felt like momentum was swinging the way of Sentinels. That shot was just filthy. Of course, TenZ wasn't quite looking in that direction. Had to anticipate that could have been multiple players posted up.
But that's both of the AWPers that just got deleted by eeiu. Both TenZ and Shaz pick up the op and try and challenge eeiu. And he swings the momentum firmly back in favor of NRG. This is going to be an amazing half no matter what. What does the play look like here? Possibly Tex taking a bit of contact towards halls that triggers a breach ult, perhaps. But there isn't really anybody to follow up on it. This looks more like a fault line, actually.
Yeah, he's just holding the stun, waiting. They gotta know roughly that Tex is playing the slight off angle in halls. Okay, dapr. Slow play, a drop, just making sure that they clear the utility. There is the stun. Plays off of it. Tex gets the 1 pick, and he's out of there.
And NRG are doing a much better job of setting up their players to win these 1v1s. Not always. There isn't always utility, like eeiu's couple of kills that he got in the prior round. But there, the fault line works wonders. Tex must know that dapr and Sick are on dish. He simply must. They've done it so many times.
They see the gun just sticking out, and it pings it. Shaz gets the swing, and he knows exactly where Tex was playing. Now here comes the push attempt. Sentinels just trying to get themselves onto this site. You can see the spike currently in hall. Zombs holding on to it for now. Making sure that they clear every single spot. The stun sent down just in case, but NRG nowhere near.
Oh, they're looking to try and maybe bait out the breach ult there. Zombs is going to pop it. This is going to be a repeat of one of our prior rounds, where we saw eeiu looking for the breach ult retake, and Zombs was able to stay alive on site. Shaz still playing from that hall's position as well. All looking like a mirror image.
dapr is going to be crucial here on this drop position. When this push starts to come through, how are they going to scale off of this? Now comes the rolling thunder. I think dapr just about side dodged it. Smoke is just playing inside, but look at that flash, the perfect timing of it still. It's a 2v2. dapr Stray shot. eeiu's managed to get it. Still holding it down. Not enough. eeiu finding the kills. 10 HP to his main. That is going to be the half. Nice little diffuse for him. I mean, can't argue with the results there, Josh. 9-3.
Absolutely dominant from NRG, Brand.
Switching sides.
Yeah, that is absolutely absurd. Well, to back it out, we're going to be taking a short break as well as the players reflect on the half. We're going to be continuing map 1 right after this.
And it's been fairly one-sided so far. You could argue maybe there's a defense-sided element to this, as Shaz gets that fault line set up towards A halls.
So
Zombs
fast.
playing the same position. They are much quicker in order to take this map control compared to what Sentinels were doing on the other side of things. They're still defaulting a little bit, with Android looking over towards Tree as well, but Sentinels now have to be worried about the A halls area that entire time, especially if Tex breaks this trademark, which he does. This is going to keep 3 players from Sentinels on A this entire time. And yeah, this would be a monumental win for NRG to get under their belts. I mean, there goes eeiu though. That's dapr coming up with some work. He got the first pick of the map, actually, playing that chamber, which he wasn't doing at Champions, as a reminder, with the Headhunter. Finds another one on the pistol round.
Well, quick dash in. Som wants to try and take this fast, but he's vulnerable up still. Collects the one. Zom's trying to anchor it down. Not capable of finding the pick onto Som, and Som's still kind of trapped now, separated from the rest of his team. As all this was going on, a couple of picks went their way of Sentinels. You can see dapr's still holding now, just about to start rotating as the plank comes down, and the call is going to be made to try and hold this one forwards. Android with that pick onto Shaz is going to set them up nicely as they just retake now sand control. Got a nice little crossfire set up.
Yeah, this is going to be difficult for them to get back through. Sick does not have any more stars. They take him out. It's only the 2 players left at Dish.
They hear the drop. TenZ, he has to create magic here for him. dapr's going to be covering right around the corner, but Som answers back straight away. It going his way. TenZ! Oh my goodness. You knew where the players were, and you know he's going to be good for it most of the time. Clutches up the round for them. Unbelievable Red Bull clutch.
That is not bad. That's what TenZ has been doing for them so far this game, but it hasn't been enough so far. This is going to let Sentinels have just a sliver of a chance back into this one. dapr did a decent job of putting down damage too, finds 2 kills, and gets both of these players down to the point where a single sheriff shot will take them out. Som and Android had to get the damage there on TenZ, otherwise they were getting mopped up. This gives them a little bit of breathing room here. Sentinels, they have better guns, they can start to get back in. And this looks like a fairly standard setup. Shaz playing with the fault line, Zom's still in halls, and dapr, even though he's changed up his agent since last time we saw, still occupying the arcade position, trying to hold B tower.
Tap there off the orb just to try and bait something. A little bit of a swing, but they're not going to anticipate. TenZ up top. Ooh. Doesn't quite catch the head of Som. In fact, Som able to just dash away to safety. I think Sentinels are going to be quite aware that the players are grouped up now around this B area.
They found my trap.
So many players in that tunnel for NRG, just working their way around the map. They've put some fairly decent presence towards arcade, so now they're just going to try and pop in from Tree. There is always this Viper utility that's going to make Sentinels worried.
It could be everything right now, TenZ! Oh my word!
Down B.
Spray down catches the players unawares. They were just trying to contact straight in. Still eeiu. Quick response. Takes the head of 6 straight off. TenZ, though, tries to hold it down once more. 36 health on eeiu. Not enough to try and salvage that round for them still. Sentinels happy with it. Another round on the board, and you can start to feel again this momentum. They have the breathing room.
A little bit, yeah. We'll see whether they go for a full force here. TenZ is going to have access to his knives thanks to all of the kills that he got in the pistol round and mopping up a couple of them there as well with his bulldog. So this, I mean, dapr's going to buy a rifle, but the rest of them still have money to be able to buy in round 16, even if they lose. So it's about applying that economic damage. TenZ is really going to roam around the map and find value from doing that, putting pressure on NRG. So this time he just plays Dish, kind of on his own. There is a stun to be able to work off as well.
Yeah, that's exactly the point here. He's always going to be trying to play off of Shaz in this breach. Ooh. 2 knives gone. Quick little jiggle here from the NRG players as they're trying to get a feel for the positioning. And look at this, they're waiting to see if TenZ Pushes a little bit deeper. Eventually backing away from it now.
NRG's Viper Wall can sometimes fake that they're pushing up tree and just contacting in, and that's why dappr's put a trademark there. This arcade area is when most people play their Viper Wall in a double controller setup, but now the NRG players just have to hold angles for each other. As hazed gets into astral form and tucks himself around the corner, it's on ShahZaM, it's on Tex to open this up.
Oh my goodness, sick. Dangerous swing around the corner, just about tanks the player. Cool wallbang there, but they've already made their way into tower. NRG, full side control here. You still have to be aware that there could be a player hiding within these smokes. ShahZaM has to use dash, and now look at that, the aftershock. The molly, oh, just about mistimed, but still the damage is done. TenZ there with the knives. Flame Storm kill, resetting them, and you're going to start to see the pace now increase. Rolling Thunder comes in, and it's going to catch a bunch of the Sentinels players. Will there be any sort of capitalization off of it? Doesn't look likely. TenZ still there, leading the charge for his team, and he knows that there's going to be a player up in tower here, trying to play.
One enemy
Post plant holding down the corner, the quick right click. That'll do it. The fuse comes through. No one dying on the side of Sentinels. Hasty little round from them.
Awesome bonus round from Sentinels, gets them straight back into the game. NRG and Sentinels both struggling with the same kind of things, but at least NRG are being able to get into post-plant scenarios. NRG have actually got the spike down there and set up with some good post-plants. They had the breach ult to be able to work on as well, but unfortunately it's still that prime game in flawless. Sentinels not losing a single player means their economy is fantastic for the next round. But they're at least, my point being that NRG are at least getting in positions to win these rounds, whereas it looked a bit hopeless for the beginning looking at Sentinels. So, NRG, if they change a couple of little things and try and shut down TenZ, I think he's been the big playmaker in these late round scenarios. Here we go again, a massive clash towards tree. There's the suck, the stun. The Sentinels are dominating this area. ShahZaM is so isolated.
Hey, the amount of utility they've just poured into this area. Yep, ShahZaM is so alone. Just hiding behind the smokes, just praying that they don't end up clearing them out. You can see they have to use their own pull just to make sure that this player's not hiding behind this box. It's going to be re-cleared, but still Sheriff's in hand. Tex, okay. Contacts around the corner, catches the one player. Still got ammo to spare. 7 shots left in the headhunter, if he can find another one.
The information here, though. The info is arguably more important than the kill, honestly. If he spots another couple of players, he'll be able to tell the rest of his team to just commit onto B, and there's only Sick there.
Tries to make a bit of noise in the process as well, just to pull those players towards it still. Sick left to anchor now onto B. The stun. It's going to be connecting here up into tower. It could be in trouble. Takes the swing anyway, while ShahZaM takes his head clean off. Now straight away, the scaling is quick. Aftershock just put down, swing through. Yep, the spike is now isolated at B main. Still the kills. Be even for them, roughly speaking. Sentinels only 2 players remaining, and now they've gifted ShahZaM a rifle still. There's a little bit of hope here for dapr. Spike gets picked up now as Android very low, still tries to plant down. You can see dapr trying to take the shot. He's good in his clutches. We've seen it in the past. Let's see if he can pull it off. 1 player low takes him out. Android no longer present. He knows that ShahZaM has the knives as well, but only 50 health. A single knife will do it. The right click misses, but luckily Tex is there to salvage the operation. A thrifty round for NRG. Now this is where the pressure starts to mount.
It really is. That was a great round as well by NRG. That's why I was saying that this pick onto zombies pulled 3 rotates and left Sick isolated on the B site. And even though he does great by getting the first kill, re-swinging after the fault line comes through just sets him up to that triple face as they're walking upstairs. And from there, NRG, especially ShahZaM, just takes it home. Starts to get really dangerous here. Android's got his ult for the post-plant kind of situations. We've got TenZ just holding down tree, but once more they're getting really aggressive early on. What is that? That's a wallbang through the door from Shaz. Shuts down the star player from NRG.
You are divided.
ShahZaM tried to skip over the stun as well that was coming his way. She's using the dash to try and take some space, scale really quickly. NRG do have to be careful though. Sentinels, you're looking at it with the tour de force in hand for dapr and TenZ with the double up setup. One mistake. Be critical. Still, that's going to be the Viper's pit laid down. It's going to keep Sentinels now on their toes. I think they're a little bit worried that they could be just contacting in. You can see ShahZaM's playing inside of it, almost getting spammed down.
He's going to be so weak. Sick is trying to assist him and help. Meanwhile, there's a chamber battle potentially going to happen over towards Dish as the tour de force watches that. Missed the shot, goes for the repeat as well. There's just
You can
chaos
hear the
happening.
shots.
Yeah, you can hear the shots rattling out.
Oh my goodness, everybody missing this one still. Zombs finds the one, and it was the most important pick at that. Viper's pick going to be taken down. Tex, a fast rotation, just takes the ropes all the way to skip across, but 5 players alive for Sentinels.
30
Shut
seconds
down
left.
this push attempt. Viper's pit just really not quite supported.
Yeah, one of the biggest problems here, assuming that Tex is not able to complete the 1v5, which he isn't for the Prime Game in Flawless. One of the biggest problems with that Viper's Pit from Android is that they didn't have anybody ready to push into it as it kind of extends into the site. And so Sentinels are able to control this choke point simply by spamming at it. They've all got Phantoms, they just spam shots in there, and NRG don't feel comfortable to take that space. And so Zombs and Sick are able to dominate the choke point even while their health is slowly ticking away. This is a sticky situation for NRG. They take another timeout here. They are up 10-7, but it's a far cry away from that 9-3 half. And we have seen Sentinels claw their way back into games like this. You cannot give them an inch. They will take a mile. One of the things that they went for in that prior round, Bren, was the TenZ op towards tree and then the tour de force towards dish. Really trying to lock down the areas where NRG have been taking space for free without using too much utility. And then, you know, they've still got the bridge to be able to lock down other areas like halls.
And in this timeout, they're going to be thinking about exactly what they're going to be doing. I'm curious if they're going to be forcing into this next round. I mean, Tex does say that he has the ultimate available. Could opt to buy for somebody.
Yeah, they have their opportunities. I think that might be what they're discussing right now as well, if they take a timeout. Because, yeah, Tex has dropped eeiu a rifle, so they've...
Okay.
Wow, they're going for 4 rifles and the tour de force. They are going for this round.
It's pivotal for them. I mean, they really need to carry this forwards with as many of those guns as possible. Sentinels have got more than enough money to take some liberties in this round. And again, you can see TenZ posted up with the op, locking down that B tree angle.
Although he has been smoked off, and that's going to deny a lot of the information he gets there. He's also playing on top of a trademark, so even if TenZ gets pushed off, they still have some level of info. There's a stun. They're expecting NRG to swing. At some point here, Sentinels are going to try and punish, and they do. Take down hazed. That's the IGL, the Astra gone.
A beautiful response from him. Shaz just throws in a flash for good measure. Just pushing him away. In fact, he's found another one in Zombs with the crossfire. NRG unwilling to give up that space. Pay for it with their lives.
What?
Tex, what is that? A quick flick of the wrist. He finds one with a tour de force. Has to walk through his own slow, though, and that makes it obvious exactly where he was playing. Android, the sole player now for his team. Right locked down here for them, and Shaz with 4 on the round. NRG, I think Josh might be kicking themselves at this one. They bought up into this. Not a lot of money to their name.
And it's this halls push that just dominates them. Shaz's breach is nasty on defense. He doesn't put himself in extended positions too often. But his utility usage is fabulous. And also, his aim is still superb. I think people tend to forget how good of a player Shaz is. And his breach, which he's played long ago in the past, like towards the end of 2020, is just fearsome. They've got the same kind of setup here to lock down halls as the operator from TenZ moves its way to arcade.
Stun comes through, and the spacing. It's quite good from NRG. They take out dapr before he could even teleport away. Sick. Holding it down for now. Oh, drops off the cross. You gotta be joking. Tex has been a menace with the headhunter.
They've all been so dangerous when it comes to these eco rounds. That was one of the ways in which NRG were able to upset Rise. They won 4 out of 4 of the eco rounds. Ender was talking about it on the desk. These guys are deadly in rounds like this. Som has a rifle.
Flash through.
So
yep, they've caught him. Tex finds one. Oh my goodness. TenZ just about to catch Som there. Zombs as well, just peeking through the spawn. Does get Tex, but now he's being swarmed. Has to hold this down. Are they going to think to check this angle now? Already running straight up onto the side, but the timing is not good for him. He peeks his head over just to see if he can collect a couple of kills, and it's given NRG the sight. That plan is going to go down, and it's all on TenZ with the op. He has created magic in the past. 6k in the bank. He can take liberties this round. He would try and attempt the clutch now, just creeping deep onto the site, but it's so hard for him. Watches the flash, flicks away. Smoke wants to play inside of it, but out of stun. Oh, this is dangerous for him. Straight through hall. Somehow just walks up to eeiu, takes his head clean off. That's the frenzy in play. But now he's got to contend with all of this post-plant utility. Starlight down, the molly as well, and he doesn't even know if there's a player hiding up top. Has to clear so many angles. It just feels impossible for him. The pull, and even if he was sticking it, wouldn't be able to get it. The shot's going to miss.
On the positive side, there is no way that Android is going to be able to collect that operator, so it's not like they've gifted that weapon over to the attacking team either. But that's NRG creeping ever closer to being able to lock this map up. Such an unusual pathing in that round too. They all group arcade, explode onto ShahZaM at generator, then decide to run all the way through defenders spawn at
Reminded
zombs.
me of Gambit, Josh.
Sure.
In a sense of how they play.
Yeah, just grouping up together. It's that pack mentality, but it's the best way of being able to generate value, or rather capitalize on your advantages. On an eco rounds, here's the op battle again. TenZ goes for the crouch peek. And zombs, he's good for the shot. That's dish control. ShahZaM comes to try and plug the gap. Still has all of his breach utility, of course, apart from that fault line. Could look for a flash repeak at some point here, but he's just looking like he wants to go for the dry swing.
That is so brave. I mean, he doesn't orchestrate that he could be swinging that one. No flash, obviously. I believe there was a player playing anti-flash, so I can't believe he takes that risk. He converts into a 4v4. He shouldn't be favored. You're right.
But a massive play. And both breaches have the ult here as well, so things could start to get pretty crazy. Zombs has his Viper ult to be able to deny the plant as well and try and anchor the site. But there's still a minute on the clock. You don't want to commit it too early.
Yeah, good patience being shown, but I can feel a bit of chaos about to erupt here. Tex takes out Shaz, and the swing from Android. Zombs found at the back of the site. Six going to be cleaned up momentarily, and now just dapr in his way to the site. It's going to be the plant coming down now for NRG, and you can see Android taking up that horse position. This is going to be very difficult for dapr to try and dislodge.
Another 1v3. I mean, the Sentinels players have been in these positions so many times in this map. It's 11-8. They're going to let NRG get to match point unless dapr can come up with absolute magic here. Again, dodging the flash. Same setup for NRG, and it's just too good. The flashes come from backside. dapr doesn't have the advantage of the jet smokes to be able to hide inside. And that setup is so good at being able to deny the clutch. Map point here for NRG.
I did not see this coming at all. Especially the way these map picks and bans, and we see a Sentinel timeout. Sentinels.
Rawkus hits the red button.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if Rawkus is still on this team.
I assume he is.
I mean, this is where the pressure really starts to mount. You got to think about this now. NRG, perma-banning Fracture most of the time when they play it. They do not like to play Fracture. There were no VODs, no footage of them playing this map whatsoever. Most of us expecting Sentinels to be able to take this, but map point now here, as you can see in this round. So close to taking map one in this series.
And normally, when you see a team deviate away from their permaban and go into another map like this, a Fracture pick, for example, map one, you expect it to be based off scrim footage, right? They've played against them. They understand that they might have an edge against them. Sentinels haven't been scrimming too much recently. That's the overarching narrative of them during this offseason that they've had over winter. They only started, what, 10 days, 2 weeks ago, something like that? It's not like they've been playing religiously all throughout December and January. So NRG just going for a bit of a punt here on map one. They have the breach ult to be able to work with this round. They're looking to close it out. Breach ult on either side. The advantage here for Sentinels slightly in terms of the ult economy, but they need to be able to lock down these early picks.
Well, op v op, we might be seeing a bit of a duel taking place. We can see Som is on the B side. Viper's pick committed there, just in halls. Som wants to try and hold this down.
And that is going to give Sentinels an advantage in map control. NRG have been taking halls without too much contestation. There are some rounds for sure where Shaz is fighting over it, and NRG have been made to pay with blood. But a lot of the time, they're getting A halls for free and dish for free as well, and that's been a big problem for Sentinels. So I don't mind this Viper's Pit whatsoever. It's really slowed the pace of this round down as well. NRG just have Tex controlling that bridge side, looking to group up. I'm anticipating eeiu to path into tunnel here, try and clear it out, and then you can go for a big breach ult onto site from a safe position.
I haven't cleared any of the utility elsewhere on the map. So you can see the dapr's just got his full setup down on B.
Yeah, but
Brent, could be dangerous.
The trademarks have always been in the same position for dapr. I find it hard to believe NRG don't know where they are. They've run into them many times, and dapr hasn't been shifting it up too much.
Well, now we're down to the 35 seconds here, Som. Okay. Is he going to suspect this? The stun. Top of the Jenny. Right there. TenZ finds it. Rifle in hand. Som gone. That's a major central point of the NRG attack. Going to be missing now for them. A quick flash through, and eeiu, well, ready to just scale so fast. That's a Rolling Thunder deep into the spawn, but dapr straight up onto the point. Does collect a couple of the kills, but Android now going to be granted enough for the ult. Will he be able to get this plant out? Rolling Thunder to the back, just narrowly avoids it.
It just missed!
Can he get this plant? Yes, it's not going to disrupt him. He gets it down. The Aftershock not even going to be helping in this as well. Tex playing inside the oldest, a 2v2. This could be the entire map of zombs. What a play from him. It's the 1v1. It's all down to this one. Tex versus Shaz. The stun just misses. He tries to find it, but Shaz clutches it up. What a play from him. Left down to just 70 health in the process, but my word, they needed that.
It's a lifeline for Sentinels. ShahZaM provides it. His utility was aimed to deny the plant. The breach shell comes through with 8 seconds on the clock, hoping to stun him up, deny the plant, and he just missed Android by a hair's breadth. I thought that was it, Bren. I thought that was the mistake that was going to seal it for Sentinels, but ShahZaM clutches it back. And this puts it at 12-9. The economy in a bit of a rough place as well. Tex does have his tour de force to be able to work with. So once more, NRG are going to attempt... What is this? A half-buy by the look of it. Two rifles, a tour de force. NRG just trying to inflict damage upon Sentinels here. And TenZ with his knives, looking to push out Arcade. Nobody watching this tree area, where there's 4 players from NRG.
Oh. Yeah, the heavy pressure towards it. Playing with the 3 players, obviously. Did give up that orb. Obviously, when it's fractured, it's not possible to control all the orbs at once when you're on the defending side of things. But it does give Som his knives, and this is a guy who's been making waves for a while now.
Bren, look how little map control they have on the defense. They don't have tree control, they have no holes control, and they don't know anything about dish. Som is in!
Oh my god, what a shot! I mean, Sick knew exactly where he was, tried to take the re-peek. Did bring Som down to 33 health, but this is now more than dangerous. Som still with the knives, just about spots him. Has to run back through that Viper utility. And the round has been slowed down. 45 seconds remaining. Tex holding the tour de force. Gun's about 50 meters long, so I think they might be aware of this one. But now we see the pace turned up. And the crossfire is excellent. Zombs locking this one down. What a flick from him. 3 kills for them. Tex on the side, though. The quick scope, I don't believe it. Almost winnable for them. Just getting hairy, and TenZ luckily able to just swing right in time. But, I mean, it's still... You got to imagine a lot of the Sentinels players sweating there.
Yeah, this is... I've got to call it. We're Brits. It's squeaky bum time. That kind of round towards the end there really is. You're whistling. I mean, that one is close.
Yeah, that's got you tensed, I think.
Again, one of the problems here I feel with the Sentinels' defense is that they're not really taking space or map control too much. They're fighting for holes some of the time for sure, but look at how kind of bunched up dapr and TenZ are on the site. They've only got these trademarks to give them information, and by the time they go off, NRG are practically there. Zom's got so many kills in that prior round, he has another Viper ult to be able to put down in halls. This guy is just insane in terms of anchoring, and it's kept them in this map. But can they repel the B hit? It looks like a split coming through any time now.
It's so hard for NRG to try and find something. The flash comes through. TenZ, oh my goodness, caught unaware. Ended up jumping. NRG coming out on top here. It's a 3v2. Scaling quickly onto the site. A quick shot trading the damage between one another. Shaz and Som so low, but did he expect Som to be holding down canteen area? Okay, there's the Cosmic Divide. That's from their own team. It does temper Som's aggression just a tad. He's looking to hold down at the front of Jenny here. Plant now down, and this is where it's really all on the line. Shaz, he's got no utility to work with here on this retake. This could be the map.
The Astro Wall just makes it so difficult to play against, but the time is ticking. If they wait for too long, hazed is going to be playing with this pull on the defuse as well. He just wants to stay alive in this kind of situation. Do they expect Som's position? Yes, they do.
They take him out. That's the first obstacle removed, but still, it's a difficult one for Sentinels. The molly comes through. Now a stun to try and scale deep into tower to try and push these players off. But look at the wraparound, the rotation. They're not even on the spike. And now the pull comes through. It dissuades it. Surely it's not going to end like this, but it does. NRG taking it 13-10.
Tighter. But here we go, pistol round, and it looks like Sentinels are going for a bit of a mid push here. The recon dart seems like it makes TenZ a little less likely to go for that, and Shaz goes for the orb pickup. Gets caught completely out in the open. That feels to me like a little bit of an anti-strat, perhaps. Shaz loves going for that orb. Will prioritize it as much as possible if he doesn't see anything in A lobby. And it feels like NRG had the read.
Yeah, maybe baited a little bit by eeiu. Ended up using that arrow to clear through mid, but still went for it. Now you're going to see the fast approach. Drone to just try and lead the team in for NRG here, but Sentinels want to try and stop this before the spike even gets down. dapr looking out of the cage, not going to be rewarded with much. Little flash there off to the side, but it will mean that NRG are able to get this plant down, the spike. Now they can start playing these post plants all deep up onto the side.
Their post plant positions are pretty great here. I mean, you've got TenZ with the Sheriff, but
Smoke's
he's so far
fade
away. And he had to break the trademark just now.
Zom's just backing off around. Yeah, and now you can see this flank attempt. TenZ kill on the board. They know he's flanking up here now. Wasn't obvious in the slightest, but the quick response by NRG. Pushing all the way into the backside. They punish Zom, who was waiting on his lonesome. With Sick remaining. Cleans up. Zom with 3 picks over the course of this pistol round, man. But the way it all capitalized, the way it all happened, off the back of that pick on the Shaz.
Yeah, it's a fantastic opener, but also just so well done by Zom to be able to clean things up. Playing on top of that default box looks fantastic. And the Desk were having some conversations about the K over the Sky. I'm personally inclined to lean towards the Sky when it comes to Haven. The information that you're able to grab is just so consistent over the course of the round. The dog is super valuable. I'm not mad about Sentinel's comp at all. I think Sky is going to suit Sick much more than the Astra pick there. As this flash comes down to allow TenZ maybe to get on a deeper line with his Sheriff. But he's not going to peek initially. There he goes! And it's another great shot from TenZ.
You've got to be kidding me.
That's the streamer battle I want to see for this map.
Absolutely. These the Trailblazer gets a nice bit of information for them. There's a couple of these players. Tech's just spamming through the wall, making sure that they can't push off the back of it. Great opening pick, though.
Yeah, it's a good start, but the problem is that NRG have cut noise, and Sentinels love to play a rotate defense. They like to have their anchor there, and then Flood rotates in to try and help them hold backside control on Haven.
Oh, they've been bamboozled by this.
From the beginning.
Yep. Smokes off to the B connector. Drone straight through B as well. Sentinels are anticipating.
dapr's cam is here, but he hasn't activated it. There it is. Sees everything.
Okay, now they know, and look at that. The minimap swarming like ants straight onto it. Oh, gee, it's quite slow, but eventually swinging into it. That TenZ is going to be dealt with. It's a 4v4. Quick little shock dart off to the back there. Hazed. Oh my word. The repositioning. He caught that one head on. Falling very low. See that KO nade just utilized to try and push them away in case they have to stop that plant once more. Now NRG. A lot of health towards them. The swings come through. Flash at the top of it, but the swing was also there. Straight through double doors. eeiu supporting them. Vector in hand. Shaz does catch the one, but in a 1v3, looks unlikely that he can do too much. Still, stranger things have happened.
Certainly would be a tough one with only the classic, and they know exactly where he is as well. Yeah, and that's just him going down. NRG clean it up quite nicely. I'm a little bit boggled by the flash that Sick sent out. Did you see the swing that came in Garage, and then Sick flashes after the swing, after his player's already died, and team flashes himself and somebody else in back Garage? Sick looking a little antsy here, perhaps? I'm not sure. The Desk were talking about Sick quite a lot in terms of the pre-match narratives around his performance at Champions, etc. I thought his Champs performance looked pretty good. For a flex player, he gets a lot of First Bloods. And on Astra, on the first map, he was -2 in First Bloods and went 12 and 21. He can't really have that level of impact on Astra. He needs to be having a big performance here on the Sky. And this is where you see that classic take of short from Zom. The suck, the recon dart helps him take all of that map control early on. and threatens the Sentinels that short could have been completely overrun at this point.
Yeah, you can see them actually. I believe that's using a drone just to clear through short, but NRG not wasting any time. Scanning right up C here. dapr forced to pop over the cages. The utility used there, as you can see the nade and the shock dash just in case he's playing inside of it. Ooh, okay. These trips are worrying. The flash over the top there from Sick, and now dog being used just to clear through into garage. So all this is happening. TenZ is just peeking out ever so slightly, these pixel angles, and he does find the pick onto Tex. This starts to get dangerous for them. Still ShahZaM holds it down, but a good swing from Sick. What is that? eeiu with the spray down. 2 players lined up for them. Still 8 health. Not enough to survive as TenZ is able to capitalize and get that one straight away. In fact, still able to find it.
Monstrous round from TenZ, really, isn't it? That was a serious lineup, though. Bit of a mistake from Sentinels as they're coming through from garage. But other than that, fairly clean. I mean, TenZ was all over that one. He manages to find the first pick onto Tex, swings his way back in, catches a couple of them by updrafting onto the C box itself. Take a look at this replay, too.
Yeah,
the coordination is pretty good. They're trying to combo a flash and a recon dart for the retake. And then it's this sightline that allows TenZ to be able to pick up eeiu. And then as the smoke dissipates, hazed, instead of just playing the long angle, goes for a peek. Having said that, the macro pathing was really good there from NRG. You know, they take short control, make Sentinel scared, immediately pivot over to C. Because when you take A short, dapr has to pull himself off the C site. Feels like hazed has got a good understanding of how Sentinels plays, which he should do. He's IGL'd against them before. Looks like Sentinels want to take an early fight here towards garage. Stuck in the corner a little bit. TenZ wastes a few knives.
Yeah, committing the bodies to just try and hold down garage. You saw the early shock dart just getting rid of the trap wire. dapr had laid down. Now the drone, I don't know if that caught a glimpse of ShahZaM. He has to be concerned of this. Comes around the corner, Sick! Does get the one, but luckily ShahZaM was pushed up and they were caught unaware. Forward positioning, we see just under a minute now in this round, and you can... Oh, I mean... Okay, ShahZaM just holding, anticipating the jiggle peek over the boxes. What a disgusting shot.
And zombs is watching this. As Tex lurks in, zombs has got it. He might have been playing an RTS for the rest of the round, but there we go. FPS gameplay online, holding from the back there of the B site. And hazed ferries the spike in. It is a 3v3.
30 seconds left.
They're going to have control of Cubby. They know that there's a trip there too. And here it goes. A bit of a scramble from Sentinels as they realize that they've been done once more. The spike is down and post-plant positions being gained here for NRG.
Yep. I think Tex dying in mid honestly sold them on that being a bit of an A hit. Now they've gained C. The plant's down.
Pull on
Cam here. Yeah. And we can see TenZ starting to once again take the lead for his team playing inside the smoke. You have to be cautious of this. It's going to be the 1-for-1. The trade eventually there. Still, it's a 2v2 in this scenario. Good stun off into the corner. ShahZaM just about dodges in and he taps the spike. Have the information though. Now they're knowledgeable about it. ShahZaM's, what a pick for him. ShahZaM's being taken out is great, and they're just sticking the defuse. Not enough for them. It's going to be a win for Sentinels despite hazed eventually picking up the kills.
Yeah, that is a bold play, but lovely smokes and utility in general from zombs. He comes into that retake with 2 stars, chooses one of them to smoke the spike, which is incredibly important because otherwise hazed would have got that kill way earlier onto dapr. And the second one stuns ShahZaM, or at least makes an attempt to do so, and sets zombs up on that line so that he has priority and can kill ShahZaM when he goes for the swing. Really smart understanding there from zombs on how to use his Astra utility to set himself up for an advantage. And NRG have to take an eco. Looks a little quick here. The pop of the jet knives is going to make them think that this is a fast short take, but in fact, ShahZaM has sprinted towards garage.
Pressure's on right now. That dog, I believe, is going to catch the information, at least, that Android is in mid. So they know that, okay, well... Be 1 or 2 players playing around that area. The ping from NRG, they want to try and make some sort of play happen. A lot of pressure on dapr here. If he's able to shut this down, what it looks like is maybe a bit of a burst play into garage.
A pop flash, perhaps, from Tex.
Throwing and following it in. Okay, dapr needs to get something. The right click does not work out for them still. Be the kill for them. Luckily, zombs is there back in the window, but has to get away from them. Does not want to be giving away any more guns. The Seeker's using a response. Sentinel's going to try and push off the back of these. You can see the shock dart on top of it, just trying to drop this plant. Flash through, sick. And it looked a bit discombobulated, and now we see the Hunter's Fury on top of it. Cosmic Divide from Sentinels. They want to try and retake this one, or look at that! Shaz is going to be falling, pushing through the wall just to try and offset this one. Sick with 2. eeiu finding it still. Another shock dart. He doesn't know if they've tapped this one, and I think he's unaware. Indeed, zombs already pushed forwards. He didn't know if he was on the spike and tapped or not. Intelligent positioning, but a bit too close, I think, for them.
It's zombs again, though, with incredibly smart post-plant play. Tapping it, realizing that that information is going to be denied from NRG, and then swinging through the Astra Wall. I'm loving the way that zombs is closing out these rounds, but they're all getting scary. That was an eco round from NRG, and they were almost able to take it away. Something that strikes me, too, about the defensive setup from Sentinels is how they're playing double initiator on A lot of the time in these early rounds. Sick is floating in this BA connector most of the time. Sick used to play pretty solidly towards Garage. He is going to play there this round. But a lot of the time so far in this half, in the first 6 rounds, he's been playing over on the A side.
Oh, now this is fast. You have the information. Drone straight up C. NRG not wasting any time. That's going to mean with the KO ult popped, don't have to worry about any of this Cypher utility. Take immediate side control. Android has got to be careful with this one. They hear that. Yeah, you can see them aware of this. Flash comes through. TP though, the swing from Som. Gets the one, and luckily Tech's holding it down. Nobody else going to be pushing through that one. Cosmic Divide now. A little bit harder for Sentinels to try and push this one, especially with Sick down. They don't have the flashes to try and work their way through this wall. No bullets going to be making their way through, but luckily they've got the smokes. And now TenZ walking out into the back of the side, trying to play the moves being made here. Swing timing. Not enough. NRG locking that one down.
And every round, a back and forth being fought for. The KO ult, obviously the massive component there. Sentinels came into that round with 2 Spectres and were forced to play a full 5v5 retake with no ultimates available to them other than a Cypher ult. Which, how is that going to help in a 5v5 retake?
Yeah.
Round 7 and it's neck and neck, but NRG are poised to take the lead as Sentinels are forced to take another eco round. Their plan on these ecos seems to have been, generally speaking, for TenZ to try and play either peeking with the Sheriff in mid or walking down mid. Looks like they're going to go for that again. Normally, eeiu's been pretty on top of it, though. Using a recon dart or a drone, something like that, to clear mid. And
patient
again,
play.
TenZ doesn't really get too much. Just a bit of a peek. He's trying to play off Sick.
Yeah, you really cannot allow TenZ to have too much space to work with. NRG, I mean, they're conscious right now of the fact that they are going to be pushed towards mid. Okay. The slow.
Sick is baiting. The sound bait. He's trying to get eeiu to swing. He's just making little jumping noises. But the drone comes out. Now Sick is in a very bad position.
Oh, he tries to catch the timing to wallbang. Has to hide just behind the steps. He's taking so much damage, but looks like he will be able to survive another day. At least for now. The back of this, though, it's a quick pivot. NRG immediately going to be taking A. Plan comes through in a very unconventional location there, just into the back corner. Disruption in play here, and it's going to be the 5v5. What? A shot from TenZ. Swinging off the top, and the smoke was just a little bit too late. He's able to find that angle.
Recon that position is going to be crushing everybody playing off-site here. Smoked off. Could get some easy kills. Smoke dissipates, though, for the moment.
One's taking it out.
Sentinels taking space.
They know 2 of the players that are at least back on the side, and they're pushing forward for swing timing. It's good for Sentinels. They at least trade that one out, but how are they going to take care of all of these players? The time is running low. With hazed still alive, they've got the pull to disrupt the defuse. Now it's just the time to play for exits. Maybe try and walk away with these rifles that they've acquired over the course of the round. Not even going to be able to do that one. A round win here for NRG, keeping hold of 3 of their weapons. Yeah, I mean, this is where the momentum, again, starts to swing still. Sentinels, if you look at the money, opportunity for them to try and answer back, and even close to a couple of those ultimates as well, Josh.
Yeah, ShahZaM ult could be a big game changer, but he's also 1-7. He just hasn't been having a good time so far. NRG, especially Hazed's IGLing, has been so good at moving them around the map and using the way that Sentinels likes to play defense. This, to me, looks like a really aggressive round. Look how the Sentinels are set up here. 2 ready to push B, 2 ready to push on A. Actually, the push on A was not accurate. They just went for a deep trip and a deep cam that's going to give them mid-round information. But TenZ and Sick are both posted up in mid.
It seems like They might be slightly aware of this. I mean, NRG are just showing them complete respect. I think when you hear the flash into mid, you have to suspect that they might be playing forwards, but Zombs is just crouched, holding that angle in case somebody peeks out of garage. Sick could get a monstrous timing, and there it is. Scoped up, was not suspecting it. Bit of individualism coming out. Instantly, the Seekers are popped off as well.
And the Seekers give him all the space he needs, the information, to know that his exit path is clear. A little flash into window as well, dissuades eeiu, who drones to try and clear mid, but nobody going to be able to push past the drone. Android, in the meantime, taking some space towards A long, is going to meet this tripwire that dapr set up, and we called out early on. Can he crouch underneath it? What a mistake from dapr! That one was hastily put up at the beginning of the round, but it could bite dapr here.
He's caught
Android,
in the corner.
I mean, there is no chance he's going to look towards sight.
It's for short. That's for them just pushing through. Yeah, he's unaware.
Major mistake from the Sentinel. And in fact, that does give Android his tour de force a free sight.
Not over just yet, though.
They don't even get the plant in the right position. 15 seconds left. Does Sick go for a fast retake?
12 seconds remaining. Plan has to go down here. They will find it, but Sick ends up going down. A tour de force hazed. He's worked his way in. He's found the headshot. A lot of now. Let's see if TenZ can try and make some magic happen. He dashes quickly onto the site. Is there going to be anyone to help him? Right now, Shaz is caught up. Has to try and deal with hazed and does so quickly. Now TenZ can get the support of his teammate. The IGL just trying to help him out, but eeiu holds it. He knows where to pre-fire. Quick little jiggle, he knows. Now it's not even on the spike. Shaz, how is he going to win this? Sticks it down to the halfway mark. What a play. What a performance. So down to the wire. 30 health. So many of these rounds, Josh. They're coming down to the 1v1s.
They could be going either way, honestly. It is ridiculous when you're watching the final moments of these rounds. Hazed, it does a great play to be able to cut off those retakers that are coming in. And Android as well, spectacular stuff. But ShahZaM is able to take down hazed, to get into the site in the first place, and then just plays the information game perfectly to bait out eeiu. He's still 3-7 compared to eeiu's 8-7, but that's an important round to be able to put on the board. Once more here, dapr is going to start towards A. Probably another deep trip or cam. He's got a cam towards short and a flash out C. Don't see anything towards that C long area. But Sentinel's money is so bad.
The knife catches him. You know he's off in the side. What a play from NRG. Text is going to go down shortly afterwards with that trip. Oh, whoa. My goodness. That is getting a bit precarious. Shaz has to offload off those shock darts, but I know exactly where he's playing. And eeiu, the Hunter's Fury. Oh, that's magic right there. Two players, they know that they're low enough. Still zombs just swings out. Someone needs to deal with them. Eventually they do, but the pace injected into that round. NRG, that is where they're comfortable.
eeiu may have just lost that 1v1 clutch to ShahZaM, but he showed him how to use a Silver ult there. That was mega value. Takes down two of them, opens up the A site, and like you said, Brent, just injects a huge amount of pace into that round. By the way, eeiu was tweeting on Tuesday, I think it was, that he came down with COVID. So this guy can't be playing at his peak performance, and he's still running this game.
He's 10-7.
Yeah, and the sheriff shots he was hitting on map 1 as well. I mean, he's putting up a spectacular performance against some of the best in North America.
Yeah. Great performance. And look at that. Little set play there. Throw the KO flash right over. You see Som just tries to take a quick peek. No casualties for either side. A slow little wraparound now for NRG. Working away. It looks like possibly 5 of them trying to work their way up. dapr, well, to try and swing there. You can see Nick tried to support him. Maybe destroying the drone because dapr was in such a troubling scenario, but made those picks for them. Sentinels now probably just going to be crumbling now beneath the weaponry that NRG have.
Yeah, this one is not a round that Sentinels have any right to win. It looks like we're going to be set up here. Oh! Not quite a flawless. Shaz takes one with him, but this is not looking amazing. Sentinels, when they were at their best, when they were the best team, I would argue, in the world at Haven, it was because their defensive side was immaculate. You know, there aren't that many teams in the game that can play defense side Haven to the same level as Sentinels when they were at their peak. But that hasn't been the case for a while. People remember the glory days of Sentinels, but their recent tournament performances have not been amazing. They haven't had the right to call themselves the best team in the world on Haven for quite some time. And NRG are going to take a timeout here that just twists the knife. They have a 6-4 lead. They're already in a good position in this first half. And Sentinels are on the ropes after that map 1 loss.
Yeah. Interesting timeout off the back of them winning that round. But I think starting to suspect that there might be a play in hand. Gives them time to think as well. If they're looking at the money situation, they're going to be suspecting that TenZ has bought this operator. That's enough for it.
Yeah, they will be aware of that for sure. I mean, the play looks like he's going to opt towards a lobby. Probably with a recon dart, something like that. Maybe even a suck from zombs. But
I tell you,
that's
man,
that's one of the most common areas you'd expect TenZ to be playing.
Yeah, Sentinels as well. A lot of teams when they play Haven, they play heavy for that A lobby control. I haven't seen too much of it so far in this map.
Well, they've played, Sentinels
There's
haven't
been
really been
glimmers of
fighting
it.
for it. NRG have taken A short whenever they've wanted it. It reminds me a little bit of Halls on Fracture, you know? They're just being able to take this early map control at a whim. I mean, there's the suck again, but they just don't believe that there's anything behind it.
Oh, wow.
That
Okay, well,
wallbang
TenZ
barely does anything to hazed.
The KO is so fast here, and he's already deep onto the side. TenZ, he's got to try and lock this down. Just a quick little tag off to the side. He gets the damage in, and he collects the kill onto ShahZaM. Just about escaping of his life. The movement is clean from him still. 4v4 now. Sentinels now in a position to try and retake this one. You can see the drone being utilized and the Cosmic Divide to split them up. Pull and the shock dart. Shaz knows that they're vulnerable.
Oh, the vulnerable.
The side, that damage is nasty. Android so low, but still somehow collects the kill. He knew that he was going to be holding that one down, and TenZ just has to hold it down at the angle. Full confidence in being able to hold this one for them, and Sentinels so quick to capitalize off all those picks that they're finding.
Awesome retake, and zombs again finding that crazy value. The suck vulnerable in 2. He Astral Walls off, so they're forced to play on the site. They can't play those post plants from long or from short, and that pushes them into that suck, which gets a vulnerable. And this shock dart did so much damage. If Tex had not died there to TenZ, he probably would have died to the shock that was coming through afterwards. And TenZ just holds angles for the rest of his team to come through. That is another lifeline for Sentinels. And we've just come from an NRG timeout. We're going again here into a Sentinels timeout.
This is the final round of the half. I mean, this strikes me. Well, I mean, we interviewed Rawkus, Josh, and it is being confirmed. You know, Rawkus is still, you know, the coach of his team is going to be calling the timeouts for them. He said that he wants to mess with teams' heads when he's in this coaching seat when it comes to the timeouts.
Yeah, but that's something you do when you're massively ahead.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, you put him in the freezer, but this is not the same case. Sentinels, I think, are genuinely looking for the strategic adjustment that they can make here. And I think one thing they could do is try and swing TenZ out in short, because NRG have been playing for that area of the map a ton. Setting up their op down C long would be good if they have somebody to be able to break the drone. You know, dapr breaks drone and TenZ stays on the angle. That seems like it would be a great idea for them. I think the value here is going to come from setting TenZ up in a position where NRG's early round utility doesn't force him off the line.
It's been, I mean, really tough for him, I think, playing on that A long angle. Just the amount of utility that NRG are happy to shove into it. You see the knives, the recon darts, the pulls sometimes in short.
Yeah, but
conditioning.
But Bren, at least TenZ has a dash to be able to escape. dapr on the C side is getting overrun. He has not been able to anchor that position at all. And now they've got into a setup here. It's kind of like a long short setup where Sick plays Cubby, dapr's cam is going to bait a little bit or give him some information, and then dapr can jump peek and make them unlikely to check it. Does this molly clear Sick's position?
I think it might be towards the back of the box, back of the default box.
Yeah, it must be for sight.
You have to clear that. Okay. Sick does get tagged up. How does he get one? Got dart straight in there. Actually, the trade is there. Okay, it does clear that close corner just outside garage with the Cosmic Divide. And this is the bait and switch. Look at the minimap, everybody. The spike all the way on the other side. And Sentinels, oh, they've taken the bait.
They really have. That Astral Wall is just gorgeous from hazed. And again, the IGLing from hazed is so good. Everyone is playing to the tune of hazed here. Sentinels once more forced off and forced to use their drones so early just to clear the AB connector. They realize that there's nobody pushed up here for NRG. They're just going to be playing standard post-plant scenarios, and we get down into a 4v4. Zombs does not have any stars to be able to work with, and that's been a key for them on these retakes in the past.
Is kind of isolated in hell, I suppose. Android, okay, spotted out. He is close there. TP in place so he can try and get to safety. This is the Hunter's Fury, though. Straight into the back. Suppressing them, taking away a lot of the abilities they were hoping to try and take them into this round. Still, can't quite take away the weaponry. Zombs, he answers with 2, but now the time is running so low. Android straight from the long angle. Not enough time to work with, and I mean, despite coming up with the kills, not enough for the round. That's going to be the 7-5 half here. NRG leading. It's just an absurd circumstance that we're finding ourselves in.
And I think this shows that Sentinels are no longer immortal. I mean, we knew that for months, but I think some people are still clinging on to the idea that they are this undefeatable beast at the top of North America, Brent.
Absolutely. We're going to go to a short break, but on the other side of things, of course, this map is going to be continuing. So we'll see you in just a few.
They're down 5-7 on Haven, one of their historically great maps. They're going to require something masterful to get them out of this.
Drama in that line, Josh. Your playwright? Part-time, maybe?
I just enjoy trolling you.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, the round has begun. The pistol round is going fast. Sentinels immediately straight into B. They're going to be trying to get this plant off with TenZ. He can try and dash to safety. He is going to get it down, but look at the damage. The crossfire is already being set up. NRG, quick to swarm. They're fully aware of this strategy. Employed it once or twice themselves. The pull off to the side, but it seems to be Sentinels the ones who are being picked apart, pulled apart at the seams. The shots rattled off. Android swinging out from it, not able to find his mark with the headhunter. And it is the Sentinels players holding it down still. 2v1. Shaz has got to do unbelievable work. He's narrowed it down. It's a 1v1. The shock dart. Right over the top. What is that? The Red Bull clutch from Shaz. So low.
What a play! That's incredible. What a way to start the second half and get Sentinels back into things. There's your Red Bull clutch. I mean, Shaz was in a situation again after he picked off Som right here. He's in a 1v1 against eeiu, similarly to one of the rounds from the prior half. Sends that shock dart. Brent, I thought that was going to miss. I thought that was going straight into backside. Didn't trust the parabola at all. Yeah. But Shaz knows what he's doing. Sets them off on the right foot here, and NRG are not going to force into it. They're dangerous enough with Android's Headhunter and Som with the Sheriff.
Oh, while peeking right through. Read like a book. TenZ holds down the angle. The Bulldog ADS, of course, coming into play. Drone here for them. And yeah, you're right, Josh. You know, it has typically been Android who's a dangerous one on these eco rounds. It's the Headhunter in terms of the round. Of course, we've still got Som just holding on to the Sheriff. That is some damage applied to Tex. He's getting chased down by the dog in the process, but barely scrapes out of there.
Som's re-pushing there. No way. Angle, headshot, body shot, takes down TenZ, his counterpart on the other team. There's the swing from Sick. Can they trade? Not quite. eeiu not in a position now, stuck in a 1v4, and Sentinels, they mop up that level of aggression. He does hear everybody passing through garage. But this looks incredibly difficult for him to even make damage.
The Bulldog ADS not finding it. Yeah, can't even walk away with a gun there. So Sentinels evening it up 7-7. The plant money online as well. This bonus can be carried forward quite nicely.
Yeah, they saved a huge amount of guns here. 2 Spectres, 2 Bulldogs. Not too much damage in the slightest. Decent economy. Does Sentinels have some kind of set play? It was one of the criticisms of a lot of the North American teams that they didn't have those kind of explosive bonus rounds that we saw help Crew get the comeback at Champions, and X10 beat Envy at the time. Looks like Sentinels are poised for some sort of C hit. Is this just TenZ pushing behind the drone, perhaps?
Definitely seems like it. Oh, a bit of timing could be caught here by Android, but tagged up, has to teleport away to safety. TenZ dash into the smoke just to try and break any potential crossfire placement being going their way. That is the power of the KO flashes, ladies and gentlemen. A quick little peek. hazed is able to collect that one, and still the spam comes through, and they've already worked their way into the back of the site. It's over before you know it. Not even able to get that plant down. What a rapid response from NRG.
Yeah, they don't even let the spike go down. I mean, that pop flash is everything from Tex, but also where was the swing coming through from those C-long players? They absolutely abandoned TenZ on the site. Look at TenZ here. The dog comes through.
Oh, the molly.
And then
there's the KO nade.
Yeah, there's a KO nade that blocks them, actually. Gorgeous play by Tex. Didn't catch that when it was happening live. I thought that was a mistake by Zombs, but he has been fairly rock solid. I'm sure he would have helped if he had the opportunity to. TenZ has those. That Blade Storm online here as they go for another fast a short push, this time for Sentinels. Same kind of play. Recon Dart allows them to take that. And here's the drone actually committed really early to flush out any players holding short.
No one's actually pushing up behind this. They do just about now, though, working their way through.
That seems like a very useful piece of utility to expend so early on for such little map control.
It truly does. It's an interesting cage there. You can see that it was offloaded. I think that ends up making a noise if any player's holding close in those corners. And they're just cutting noise now.
Android, in the meantime, has pushed all the way down C long. I think he's considering breaking this tripwire that he can see.
Utility dump now. Yep, here's the A hit. The pull is fantastic. Tex actually, I think, just lays down that nade just so that they can't push deep onto the site. A lot of utility drained out of Sentinels. They weren't able to exec off the back of that. They're just cutting noise again, but we're down to the final 35 seconds, Josh.
Zombs is going to have his pull online in 8 seconds. If they combat that with the dog, they have another opportunity to engage. But it's going to be low. And there's 3 players here. Time is their biggest enemy.
Good coverage. Sick eventually holds that one down, and a quick dash over the side. That's TenZ. Able to scale. Deep, playing in hell now. Has got a gun on top of that. Looking very dangerous for Sentinels for about a moment still. Just tries to hold that one down. Him falling, his Seekers end up getting popped off, and they want to try and push through and take care of hazed. That is a heads-up play. If I've ever seen one, very aware. They don't want to try and allow them to try and regroup and take that one, even with the 2 players remaining.
Really good initiative, very proactive. The Seekers there giving them full information on where everybody was. Obviously, Android still had that trip that he had to break in order to get up on that flank in the first position, but after dapr died, they had no idea that Android was doing that, so the Seekers there just essentially winning the round out for sick. Android's so scary in that position. You can see from ShahZaM's point of view how hard it is to hold a swing from this guy when he just wide peeks you and rips your head off with the Vandal.
Yeah. NRG's scary for multiple reasons. Really just don't know when one of their players is going to explode out. That is a drone. It does get the tag onto Storm. He tries to go for the right click from that range. Absurd. He's going to be finished, surely. Shock Dart doesn't collide. Somehow he's going to be trying to get out of this one. The damage, though, TenZ instantly pushing through Garage, and he's able to shut that one down before it gets messy for them. Surprised he didn't get that kill, but good movement in the end. Saves it.
Tex has creeped his way into backside. Could be a difference maker. No, I don't think so. Shaz thought he got onto the line in time.
Okay, eventually shut down, but look at this NRG not wasting time.
Going for the drone?
The tag. I can't believe he uses the drone when he knows that there's a player deep on site, but somehow it works out. He cancels it in time. Plant is down. TenZ with 20 health in a 1v2, and now committing towards it. We don't know where he was. What a swing. Android knew he was low, and he could just take advantage of the fact that he could just jiggle peek that with a classic. A quick little right click was all it took, and NRG win it out on the thrifty round.
They are so dangerous on these thrifty rounds, Bren. And it's not just the fact that they have, you know, knives, headhunter, these kind of things, and excellently skilled players. It's the decisions that each of the individuals makes. Tex pushes his way into backside. That would be a bit of a throw on a rifle round, because you're just setting yourself up for an unfavorable position when you could wait for a full team retake. But when you're on an eco, that's the best way of being able to create an advantage, or at least make it even. And he sneaks past ShahZaM, the smoke not really great from zombs, and is able to find that first pick. Now things are evened up. 2 Spectres on the board for Sentinels. As Som looks for this early line, the cage to cross, and they could have lost a short control here. But in fact, Sentinels are just so static in their spawn, baiting out all of this utility, including the knife from Tex, to check and make sure that A short is clear.
A lot of discipline being showcased here by Sentinels. See, Shaz is getting ready to use the drone as well. Okay. The time burnt down in the round. We're trying to clear through Garage now just to make sure nobody's holding these corners. Still, it's going to be the drone destroyed. The pull and straight into the Hunter's Fury. Still TenZ. Oh, we will not be denied. The counter Hunter's Fury now. It's going to be eeiu seeing if he can try and make something happen off the back of it, but I don't know if he caught onto any targets at all.
Fabulous entering, though, by TenZ, isn't it? I mean, they managed to get the tag with the drone, and he's just in instantly, looking for those targets, hunting them down, and Android's under so much pressure from this overall. Now you find yourself in a 5v3 if you're a Sentinels player, and it's all looking good from here. This might be them able to tie up the map.
Swap out one of the Spectres for it as well. Som retaking with the op is going to require something special. He's going to need somebody, I think, to try and play into them here. I mean, Som can be an aggressive player, but no, the call is made here. They want to try and save their weaponry moving into the next round. I don't blame them.
Especially that operator. I doubt they wanted to get into the hands of TenZ. Although I must say, the faster rounds have been favoring Sentinels, I think. Just generally, even thinking back to Fracture, the slower paced, ponderous defaulting didn't really work for them on their attack side. And here, even though they start the round slowly, they don't immediately take any map control. The pace once they actually commit to the C push through Garage was explosive. As soon as Android got tagged, take a look at this replay. Presumably from TenZ's point of view.
This was insane.
I mean, he just immediately duels hazed, and then realizes that Android's under pressure from this overall. Knows where he is, swings, another kill. TenZ is really far away from the rest of his team there, but still fairly well supported by the Sova utility. That's the level of explosiveness that I'm looking for from Sentinels to get them back into this game.
And I guess it leans more into the thing that made Sentinels, you know, really feared, I think, last year. That chemistry, playing off of each other, the fundamentals, the swing timings.
Yeah.
Being able to adapt on the fly and just take a situation and combine their utility in really creative ways. The pace favors them there a little bit, but NRG are quite similar in that regard. They don't mind to go fast when it comes to these rounds.
Exactly the same utility used here from Sentinels, but this time dapr does go into a short, so you can see how the same utility usage from the attacking team can be used to disguise what the actual goals are. As that flash comes through, though, someone's going to know. Could be somebody there. Goes for the dangerous re-peek, but nothing's really dangerous when you're a jet with a dash.
It's discipline. Draft from TenZ. I think he did spot some. I can't believe he's still holding down this angle, but he's got the dash available through him, and he's collected a pick. Holdo locks him into position, and he is vulnerable. But what are you doing? Swinging that confidence. But ultimately, Sick is just going to be handed two of the picks.
And the full A site. hazed is on the flank. There's still a trip there that dapr controls. This knife would be huge. It does catch dapr, and it's going to allow hazed to go for this flank if he is proactive about it. Yep, manages to sneak through, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough. Sick, you rarely see him with an operator, but he's already found that pick.
Yeah, oh yeah, I mean, he has to find a ridiculous timing here. And Sick, okay. Locks it down. Operator in hand, of course, just trying to make sure they can't punish that one. So back and forth between these two teams.
And that was the round of some giveth and some taketh away. Because you're right, the pushes over towards A long make a lot of sense. Because he's able to save his dash, and so he can take those risks. But he didn't have the dash when he peeks through his own smoke into A short. And so best case scenario, he finds one and is able to jump away.
Just assumes that Sick wasn't pushed.
Exactly. Yeah. It's too dangerous to go for that and give up that first pick. In the meantime, by the way, TenZ has slowly been putting up some ridiculous entrying. He's 21 and 15 at the moment, and has been the main punching force of Sentinels to get into these rounds.
This guy, I think, off the back of it, I mean, he was the focal point, I think, of a lot of criticism coming out the back of Champs. A lot of people talking mainly about his raise play, but the guy's a born competitor. Super skilled,
yeah.
So.
Another thing that was brought up quite a lot was TenZ's ability to perform in elimination matches, in the final map of elimination matches. I mean, this isn't an elimination map. It's a group stage. Sentinels still have another 5 weeks, or I guess another 4 weeks of this afterwards.
Contacting.
Sick is pushing really deep there.
I think that flash was too deep. Yep, it was. Some didn't even get caught by it. In fact, Sick
What's
holding on to his utility.
There's simply no need. You guys have already got the A site, and you're trying to overpush into an eco round. Not a fan of that play.
Drone being used. Might put a crossbar up. Sentinel trying to offset this now.
dapr's stuck.
They dash through, and yet dapr stuck in his own pull. The kills. It's going away of NRG. Som's already dashed straight up onto the side, and now he's got the knives. Know exactly where Zombs might be playing here. To the side as the counter Cosmic Divide, and not enough for them. Thrifty. Quick defuse, a thrifty round for NRG. Gotta say, Josh, I think that Sky utility might have come in handy there.
Absolutely. Or just another body for the crossfire?
Yeah.
Sick and dapr do not play that situation particularly well. Sick here especially. There is simply no need to be looking for that. That's the kind of play you go for if you start at a disadvantage. And then Som barrels his way in. The utility usage is gorgeous. The KO ultimate as well stops Sentinels using any of their util to actually stop that retake. And Som feasts. They've dragged that back to 10-10, and that round came out of nowhere.
Deploying drone.
When you least expect it, I think, with NRG.
these eco rounds,
Early
man. They're just so
draft.
dangerous.
Yeah, truly are. This is a very rapid approach, though. You can see the drone was used by Sentinels straight up to C. And now we're seeing the Seekers. They want to try and barrel right through Garage. Gonna find 2 kills off the back of this one here. Still Android takes an aggressive peek straight out of the smoke, jumping through. Still Sentinels largely in control of this one now. It's all up to ShahZaM, an operator in hand. He's not going to be even attempting it.
That's more of the round that you expect from Sentinels. Playing together, pack mentality, trading for each other, pushing with a lot of confidence.
Just the fundamentals on show, you know?
It is,
a bit of
yeah,
pace
it
really just showcases it.
Yeah, and so far NRG are thriving in the situations where they can find individual picks against Sentinels.
Yeah.
And of course, also, you've got to give credit to hazed IGLing for being able to manufacture those situations on their attack rounds. But now on defense, you control the tempo a little less. So you've got to be prepped for stuff like that.
I don't know if we have access to the round history as well, but I just want to see how back and forth this has been, because at the back of my mind, I'm just thinking both of these teams just taking chunks out of each other. It feels like always an even map so far, but Sentinels just narrowly taking this lead now with the 11th round on their side of things.
You're creeping closer and closer to being able to tie the series up 1-1. And here's that round history. As we go into another timeout from NRG. Yeah, really back and forth. I mean, no team able to set up a massive economy for themselves. And the scoreboard tells a bit of a story about dapr just getting bullied when he was trying to defend the C site. TenZ and Sick have really come alive. I said at the beginning it had to be a big map for Sick. He's found those opportunities. Yeah, I think it was a bit of a throwaway on the eco round for sure, but he's also contributed to a lot of success for his team. And I think the Sky's been very valuable for them overall in terms of how they've set up some of these site hits, the flashes helping them to get onto angles, the dog putting pressure on the site defenders as well. So overall, it's been a decent showing for Sentinels, but it's not over yet, not by any stretch of the imagination. We could easily see an OT with how back and forth this has been.
With the timeout of NRG, I think going to be focusing on where they can probably set up some for success with this operator that he's still holding on to. Rifles in hand for the rest of NRG as well, so whatever strategy they've been cooking up in that timeout, here's where you're going to start to see it potentially. Just paying attention here to the positioning of these players. Some really does feel quite isolated. A couple of seconds left.
They've been putting a lot of responsibility on ShahZaM just holding down A in the early round with his operator. Like normally teams will try and hold the Sova and the Jet towards A so that you at least have a recon for information towards A lobby. But that knife gives them the info on who is playing towards A lobby there.
Yeah.
Tex throwing that one all the way from back garage, so you know he's not exposed.
What a shot. Yep, ShahZaM always good for it. One of the more confident Jet players to be coming out of the scene. I mean, this guy's just explosive. Anybody who's watched his stream will know. Hell of a personality. And now the drone being used. Sentinels just contacting into A long. Seeing if they can find any players and clear them out. Smokes are now starting to get popped. Drone's going to get taken out. Was a tag there onto ShahZaM, and he's happy to just bunny hop all up and around the staircase. And dappr's worked himself up into an advanced position. The spam. If you ping it, they seem to be aware that he could be hiding in this smoke.
He's in heaven. I mean, he just went for the plant. eeiu goes for a single shock dart to deny the plant, but nothing too much else. I think ShahZaM's just got tagged by a knife, so this might be NRG's opportunity to go for a fast retake.
Pull the dart, the nade. It's a bit disjointed, but look
that's
at the
so
damage
good.
that's being done. Vulnerable drop. Able to find so much damage off the back of it. Sentinels desperate to hold this one down with the rifles in hand, but the smokes are getting in their way. Desperately now, ShahZaM pushes forwards. He knows he's being flanked, but it's too much to ask for, even for him. Try and take them out. The spacing was immaculate from NRG there as they swung into him holding that short angle. And we did a fuse, and again, it's 11-11.
Neck and neck between these two teams. It's such a good match. I thought there was a chance that NRG made it close, but I really didn't expect that Sentinels would be in this kind of position, 2 rounds away from being, I mean, 0-1 in the group stage. Look at that overhead view. It's so good. If TenZ had not dashed away, he gets caught there by the pull into the KO nade. And the other part too is Tex threw that knife and turned off, suppressed zombs in hell for the entirety of that too. So there's no opportunity for zombs to be able to counterpull as NRG go for that retake. A really crucial factor that they've been relying on to get the A retakes working. There's the knife again. Gonna let them know that dapr is playing A lobby. You don't know if he's played close to short, because he has been taking that space pretty often. But NRG are going for the hard read that this is going to be a C hit. I don't know what the tell is here. Perhaps the fact that Shaz has his ult, and that's what they did last time, go for a C split.
Could be, yeah. Ultimate's online for them.
I think this is a good read, Bren. It looks like Sentinels are grouping up and going over towards C.
Most teams are going to be dissuaded about that stack over towards C that NRG are doing right now. As soon as they see, or at least hear that drone clearing through short, the early pressure being applied to it, but no, happy to hold it down. Android, by the way, in this undone position, he could get some work done here. Now the dog's being played. Yeah, this is the combo of the util. Okay, that's going to be the Hunter's Fury to push them through. The dog doesn't quite stretch into the back of that site, but the Hunter's Fury, well, that finds its mark, and Zom's happy to scale off the back of this one. Knew that Android was playing into that deep corner. NRG going to be chucking some of their own out just to try and push them back. The drone being used, are they going to be able to get a tag, maybe play off of this? What a shot by Zom! Tags up, and the damage. Zom's brought down to just half HP and eventually removed. It'll be the 3v3. You see now Zom holding it down. The flash comes down, but dapr unable to just find that angle off to the side. Still Shaz. Oh my word. Cleans it up in the end. Swings out, I believe, from the garage area there, that connector, and is able to just essentially put his foot down. And now we're seeing match point for Sentinels, Josh. 12-11. Wouldn't be surprised to see it go to an overtime, but the money situation is looking a little bit dire for NRG here.
It is. This is going to be another one of those weird NRG force buy eco kind of situations. They've been so dangerous on them before, but how does it get much better than round 23 for NRG? They had the stack. They knew it was coming, but Shaz able to find so much value out of his ultimate. And Zombs on the entry from C long. This time it looks like heavy A short. The knife, finding information that Sick and dapr are in there. And the recon dart as well, so this time they know that eeiu is playing towards A, which hasn't been the case every time.
Someone needs to break this drone right now. The timing, he swings right round the corner. Zom is in danger. Hunter's Fury to support him, and that is great. The play is made, but an instant response again. It's dapr and Sick. They work their way up short, and they catch the player. That was eeiu just ulting away out in the open, not anticipating the pace that was being taken to them. You have to see something crazy come out. Oh, what is that? A flick of the wrist. TenZ finds two with a Blade Storm, and now it's a 1v4. Hazed, he does catch the one. Refires. A Sick tries to fight him there with that flash, but can he even clutch this up to bring it to overtime? Almost an impossible ask.
It's just so difficult. He doesn't even know whether the AB connector is free. He does have 4 stars to be able to work with. Zom's playing with graffiti. The setup is so good here.
He's going to meticulously clear it. How does he take out these players? He has the stun. TenZ just jump peeking with the knives. No, he can collect it. He knows it's a player graffiti, but a crossfire. That's immaculate. Sentinel take it. That's a 13-11.
And look at this. The double duelist going to be defending here in showers. And that's one of the things that you've got to be cautious of. Without the sky available, not only do you not have the flashes, but you don't have more of that extremity control. So you kind of need both of these duelists to be playing off each other perfectly. The flash, though, coming out with some value there from Texas. TenZ has to drop into backside.
And he's in trouble a little bit here. Zombs. His tasked with trying to hold it down now into last, but TenZ somehow. What is that? 3 kills for him. He knows there's a 4th and he can hear the footsteps. Maybe just looking for the ace here on the pistol. Sheriff in hand still. Hazed will shut it down. He's just one man now against the world. 33 health to his name. He's going to grab the orb, and we're only a minute left into this round. He's just going to quickly rotate around. Not able to get that kill. Shaz hunts him down, fully aware of the position that he could be playing in. What a play from TenZ.
Yeah. TenZ and Sick working off each other to try and just draw as much utility out of NRG as possible as they take showers. And, you know, the desk has set up some of the interplay between these two teams quite nicely. And the flash is going to be really important. The fact that Sentinels don't have that on their attack side. But on defense, it does give them the opportunity for Sick's Rays to be holding down showers or holding down hookah. Some really important places that NRG are going to try and take away from you. And you can combo them so nicely with all of Zom's utility as well. The suck into the nade is explosive. And yeah, conventional wisdom is you should be running 2 initiators on this map, the Sky and the Sova, but the best team in the world, Bind, only runs 1 of them as well, so it's not like Sentinels are going too far away from the norm here. They have lost short control as TenZ taps down Tex, and zombs just rock solid in ramps for now.
Yeah, players being cleaned up here. They know where eeiu is. Full classic right-click play. Not going to be coming up with the pick, but yes, easy round here for Sentinels. Quite comfortable.
That lets them get into a bonus with a couple of Spectres. 3 Spectres and a Guardian. And Brent the Desk were talking about the fact that they anticipate a close map here. I'm leaning the other way. I think
Sentinels will run away with it?
I think NRG should have closed this out in 2. And I think their inability to be able to grab Haven by the horns, direct a 2-0 advantage, and secure the W in the column for them, I think it's going to come back to bite them here. TenZ and Sick have started to get activated. TenZ played much better. Sick played much better in the second map. And they've just been electric on bind for a long time.
Yeah.
North America doesn't play it that much, but Sentinels have been great.
Texas, the individual, he's been highlighted quite a bit by the desk as well over the course of this series, and he normally leans onto the KO. It's almost a bit more of a selfish initiator in terms of playing off your own utility, but now on the Sky, he's been good at comboing a lot of it up with his team. Slow round. Now, quick push here from Tex, using his dog just to clear through. A lot on long B, and it's the contact play working their way in. They know they've got it for free.
TenZ is actually holding the angle with the Guardian there. I don't think Hayes realizes, but if Tex peeks... Okay, the Viper wall comes up.
Flash through, maybe?
Yeah, potentially, but Hookah is still going to be really difficult to clear. You have Raze, Viper playing in there, double Spectre at close range. TenZ is just looking for a single shot and then dropping off here.
Yeah, you need some kind of approach coming, maybe onto the A side.
They think this is an A hit. And the fact they blast packed away has just given Hazed and Tex the timing to walk in.
Surely not if we're back. Just the Viper smokes coming up, I guess.
And the lack of any sound towards B long at all.
I mean, dappr's just got to hold it down here in Hookah. He needs to find value. He's got his molly primed just in case they're contacting in, but they're on the site. They hear the molly popped off. They know he's playing inside of this now as well. Android.
10 seconds
Holding the cross. He's not going to anticipate that, though. Sick. Good positioning for them. And still, with the plant going down, it's not ideal for Sentinels. A quick swing from ShahZaM. He tries to create some magic out of nowhere. Maybe get a bit more of a player advantage for them. Sentinels, now with 5 of them. That dart is fantastic. It lights up Tex. With the Guardian, the higher pen. TenZ is working his magic all over the back of that site. Straight through the walls, chewing through them. They have to take them out, but the defuse... Oh, it's being stuck. Tom's full confidence in his team now to know that they've cleared them out of all the different situations that they could be holding in around here for Sentinels, and it's just not quite coming together for NRG.
It's a lovely opportunity, but they weren't proactive enough in the post-plant. You can't really win post-plant scenarios when, I mean, for starters, this opening pick is not great, right? But the actual post-plant positions they have are so claustrophobic. They control elbow and long, but they're getting pinched from both CT and Hookah, and that is a really rough position to play post-plant in. You've just got your head on a pivot the entire time. And so here you see a hero rifle for eeiu. Oh, not a hero. I mean, he saved it from the previous round, but that's the player that's going to be trying to make things happen. But NRG's thrifty rounds have just been devastatingly good this entire series so far. This crossfire between TenZ and zombs has got to be great.
That's got to be more than great, man. You got to find at least a couple of picks, but they are so ready to shut that down. Too many of these thrifty rounds have been going away of NRG over the course of this series, and they're well aware of the threat that they might provide. And dapr, see how just discipline from him. Playing at the back of the site, doesn't want to give them a gun. Orb's going to be used. He hears him drop down. Aware of hazed positioning. You heard the player drop.
Even as dapr dies here, though. Sick still controls Octagon, and it's safe. Only a single rifle gone, and NRG only now have an opportunity to buy rifles up. Some's going to be taking this operator. And this is the general defensive setup that you're going to see from NRG. Has some playing aggressively with the AWP. But when he's using it on attack, there is so much more that has to be done in order to set him up onto good angles. It looks like he wants to take it towards Hookah here, anticipating maybe dapr going for a peek, but the Hookah's going to be flooded with Viper utility.
It feels
so this looks
weird,
like
right?
a weird position to be playing it in. Maybe they've got a plan that we're not aware of.
I mean, the wall is just completely locking up, including the AWP that's laid down. TenZ up and long here. Has to back away.
Need that back. Taking that back.
And noise just being cut. You can see them just recalling there. A couple of stars. NRG want to try and keep them guessing, but okay, smokes go up.
And ShahZaM's backing away. So they don't have hookah control. They haven't used any major pieces of utility. Tex didn't even use the dog to try and get into hookah. So very slow approach. They failed to take showers control, got pushed away by 6 Boombot. So far with a minute on the clock, they neither have that nor hookah. So
they're so scared.
Yeah, NRG just looking for a group up towards B by the look of it. But anything explosive doesn't really play to the fact you have your star player with an op in his hands.
All right, well, okay. Cosmic Divide splits across. Added effect over the course of these 2 sites. You can see it leaves them guessing. Could still be the A hit, especially because they're contacting up here, but the wall is used in response now. That's dapr just making sure that they can't quite peek through, but the drone and the dog being used at the same time, that's going to signal it. Definitely going to be the B hit coming through, and a lot on TenZ. Nice popped off blades. Oh, what is that? 2 picks for him. Spends the rest of them, but with the op in hand, a quick swing. The confidence from TenZ is elite. Not going to get that ace at the end of the day, but at least 4 kills for him. NRG did not stand a chance.
Not a chance. I mean, Ender, put your glasses back on. I can love TenZ. He's been so skilled today with the Blade Storm usage.
It feels like he's warmed up almost.
It does, yeah. I mean, opening map, he was -5 on first kills to first deaths. I mean, the guy was just dying first a lot at the beginning of these rounds. And now, after Haven, it just feels like he's got into his groove. He was +3 in first kills to first deaths. He dominated their attack side, honestly, and helped Sentinels win. I think the analyst was right. Without TenZ, they don't win on Haven. And those are the kind of situations where he will explode with a Blade Storm and the Operator and just destroy NRG. That puts them back on an eco round again. And even though ShahZaM has knives, it's still not pretty.
Think about the way NRG play typically as well. ShahZaM typically ends up being the focal point for them. Gets supplemented, you know, Tex maybe just throwing in flashes, normally playing KO, but if ShahZaM goes down, normally they've got players as well as just back him up. Android and Tex, notably. But the way this bind comp works, all the support is being essentially put into ShahZaM, and they have contacted in. That drone puts him in a deep position. Seeker's now popped off, though, and they are aware that he could be close. Okay, trying to play up the back of it. That's a right-click missed. Feels like ShahZaM is really just getting none of those, but a classic right-click, that'll do a bit of damage. Let's try and find this gun now, pinging around the corner, trying to find it. Has picked it up in the end, but Sentinels, the crossfire is down and out. TenZ from the Heaven situation.
Still a 2v2.
Yeah, but now it has got scary. A must-win round for NRG. They have to close this out. Snatch off to the side. Stick just trying to dislodge this one, but look at this now. Android works its way in and out. Such ratty positions being played, and dapr left in a 1v2. What can he do? Makes the plans. Quick little swing there from eeiu, and finally a round on the board for NRG. Maybe some signs of life from them.
It's another eco round, another thrifty won by NRG.
Ridiculous as well.
It is absurd. One of the things that works for them in those situations is that ShahZaM is able to play aggressive positions with his knives, even though he doesn't actually get that first kill with the knives. The classic right-click finishes off the pick. But all of the space that ShahZaM takes is then the long angles are being held by the rest of his team with either Headhunter in the previous maps or Sheriffs now on Bind. And these players are so good. Their first bullet accuracy is monumental. Here we go. TenZ setting up on that long B angle with his Operator this time, as NRG once more move towards hookah. Tex has been using his dog in most of these scenarios in order to take hookah control, but they haven't taken it early, and of course there's that Viper's Pit over towards short, so they're going to expect a B hit. They're going to know that's the best area for NRG to push.
Yeah, information gained here, Shaz. Oh, yes, the tag. That's an instant ult. Can he find the target, though? Yep. One hit comes through. Counter Hunter's Fury. Will stretch, I think, a little bit too far thin there, but eeiu loses it, at least to clear through Octagon for them. No space being gained. We're a minute in, Josh. Ults exchanged. Damage on Tex here. And they still haven't gained any map control.
And they're not even leaving anybody in hookah. You know, normally at this point in time, you'd expect NRG to leave somebody posted in hookah, either to cut rotates or give them an opportunity to rotate back to B if things fail. But here...
Oh, gonna go showers?
I mean, they have dog, no drone. So the dog here can clear the Viper's Pit. That's why Tex hasn't gone with the rest of his team. And they're just walking into showers. They're hoping that this read is correct. That they've dragged rotates over to B with that early hookah pressure. Sorry.
They grab the orb.
And Android's going to ult out here from showers.
Yep, the dog, that going to make it incredibly obvious now that this hit's coming through, and the Viper's pit through showers. One narrow choke point to play around, and here we see the showstopper. Slams its way, I believe, into triple. Six doesn't get any value out of it, but the spam is there. 12 seconds remaining. This plan, it needs to go down right here, right now. The trades that, at least for a couple of players, but with the Viper's pit down, 4 seconds remaining. The spike does go onto the ground. The Sentinels players, they know that they can just swarm it with one of them occupied, just trying to win out the round. The only way they could have won that round.
Yeah, it's a nice idea from NRG, honestly. Going for the showers, Viper's pit. It's a pretty classic play. You see that a lot at all levels of the game. Trying to counter a Viper's pit in short by using your own out of showers. It gives you a lot of space, lets you get the plant down a lot of the time. But Sentinels play it to perfection, denying the plant. And yeah, NRG have to take a timeout here. The only round they have on the board is a thrifty. That's not a good place to come from.
Oh, absolutely not. So clean here.
It is.
This is the power of
Sentinels playing
Sentinels,
off each other so nicely.
That's what I mean. The fundamentals, the swings, they know exactly the chemistry. And TenZ, I mean, at the risk of just putting on my own sunglasses, 14-3?
2 kill per round so far.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
It is.
A word I've been using a little bit too much, but I think TenZ deserves it sometimes, so... What do NRG even do here with this timeout? I mean, what is the adaptation for them?
Well, I think one of the things you want to be looking for is the position of Sick on the map, because the area of the map that Sick is playing in is the area, in my opinion, that Sentinels are going to be dedicating the most resources to holding. If he's playing showers early round, you want to be trying to play a spread default and pushing towards B long, and try and take the opposite sides of the map. If you identify that the Raze is holding inside hookah, then maybe you want to be trying to look for a split A. The read against double duelists on defense, they don't have the same level of information gathering that the Sky is going to give you, and you should be able to dominate one of the extremities. NRG should be able to take either B long or showers every round. And in this instance, it's actually only Shaz that's holding showers, sorry. Shuka, it's a new part of buying.
Shuka. They're going to know that TenZ is holding up here. I mean, doesn't seem likely. Shaz holding it down. Quick little shock dart as he hears that dog being used to clear through. Orb gained as well. And on this round, I think it is going to be NRG just looking for any advantage. Maybe a quick little shot on this thrifty. You've got rifles in the hand of eeiu and Android. Oh, and that drone. Okay, I mean, that's going to get good information that they are kind of leaning over towards that area of the map.
It's used quite early, though. So now NRG, if they do cut they don't. They go for the peak, and Som pays the price for it. There's hazed. What a swing.
Okay. Instilling a bit of that old man energy there. Still zombs.
Six just run through the teleporter. They're going for the showers play from behind.
Wrapping it all the way around here. They've got to clean up these players. Android with the rifle. That's 3. Sick. He knows he's there. He heard, obviously, the boombot coming through. The teleport as well. It's the 1v1. Android solo, not able to clutch it up. A round on the board for Sentinels. This time, admittedly, much closer. Again, it always comes down to some of these kind of half-buy, thrifty rounds, whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, Sick just sprints through the TP there. The call is made from the players anchoring A. They're committing, and Sick fearlessly runs through the B teleport and is just behind them in showers before they can possibly react. I think NRG are really struggling to find advantages in terms of their map control to start things out here. Sick making the change from Sky over to Raze has been doing wonders for them. It's not like he's lighting up the scoreboard, but it's giving them advantages in terms of their map control for sure.
Largely leaning as well, playing over towards TenZ in a lot of these situations. And right now seems par for the course for NRG. Once again, just prioritizing, it seems. Oh, okay. Boombot doesn't spot him, but TenZ, well, spotted somebody. That's Som. Star player going down. The person you're hoping, banking on to open up some of these rounds and get some of them on the board for NRG. It's made it just that much more difficult.
Yeah, they haven't even been able to take B long or showers control, playing really centrally in the middle of the map, down short, down hookah. And this play, I just don't see it working. Zom's has been holding down lamps rock solidly. This time the drone does get a lot of space, so Zombs and Android are going to fight. Android takes one, but is traded immediately by Shaz as they hold that area. And TenZ just can't miss with his operator, man.
Yeah, he's on fire right now. Firing on all cylinders. Cosmic Divide to split up the
30
site.
seconds left.
Now, do you want to try and get this plant? Concerned, though, of a potential push. In fact, using this as an opportunity to wrap all the way around. But
They didn't hear.
They know the dapper's going to be here. The flash actually gets information. You're going to hear that. They know that somebody's playing on site, but they don't check the corner. And it's a quick little two-piece. From Douglas showing the disrespect there. Douglas? It's his new nickname, I guess.
Douglas Apper. That's his new name. Yeah. Sentinels are running this map. TenZ is hitting some nasty shots. NRG can't take map control effectively. They're winning all of the duels, which was something that was going in favor of NRG when you were thinking about how they were playing Fracture to start things off. And this is more what the Sentinels fans were hoping for. Perhaps expecting is a bit of a strong word, because there were concerns, cautious optimism from the Sentinels fan base, but this is devastation.
He's so brave to be able to take that angle, you know. Util getting chucked at him. He's vulnerable up. TenZ is consistent. He's good for the one.
He's got a hot hand.
Oh, yeah. You're all being taken, Shaz. He's just crouch peeking this. And now it's a pincer straight through the showers. Okay, eeiu does shut down Sick, but hosting TenZ back up. And now a deep swing, and Shaz just really wants to punish him. While all this was going on, NRG just desperate for anything to happen. Didn't get a pick going into lamps, but it's Dom anchoring it, holding it down. 3 little kills on the eco for him. Something nice, just boost up the leaderboard.
Yeah, I don't think NRG have ever had control of lamps. They're playing their Viper wall most of the time. I mean, Android's had a few different Viper walls, but most of the time they're playing that classic lurk into lamps kind of setup, with the wall headed towards lamps and then the smoke towards the bottom of it too. And zombs is just playing in there. He's anchoring there, and they're not using a pull to be able to clear him. They're not using Viper mollies or shock darts or recon dart. They're not actually using any utility to favor them in those fights. And so zombs is just getting the easiest anchor kills you've ever seen.
No pressure going his way. This time, that's heavy utility being used. The pull, the Viper molly, nobody's playing in there. Yeah, the recon dart. I don't know, that may have caught somebody if they're holding the angle. I'm not sure. Well, now we see the Seekers being popped. NRG, do they want to go fast after this? It's a Hunter's Fury as well, but, well, caught it. Just one tag onto TenZ. Luckily, he's got the updraft to try and make, or at least dodge a lot of those shots happening. Still, NRG are fast. Straight through showers. They knew it was empty from the previous utility dump, and spikes down. This is the best opportunity they've had in a long time to try and at least get around on the board. They need it. They know they need it. Oh my god, Texas in so much trouble. In fact, trouble doesn't even describe it adequately. Ends up falling. They hear the satchels being played here. dapr. Quick swing around the corner. Doubled up here in lamps. And that's going to be the double swing, but the timing of Sick, it's a bit mistimed. Still, he gets 2. What is that?
Another nade.
Yep, pushes him off. He got that one back pretty quickly. Pushing all the way down short. He knows the play is there. Will it be the ace for him? Showstopper in hand, right round the corner. And he finds his mark. Beautiful work.
That is an incredible performance from Sick. The play into lamps.
I'm surprised he got the 2-man in lamps there.
He threw a satchel. So instead of trading dapr immediately, if you take a look at the replay here, which I'm sure it'll show, oh, well, just before this, he threw a satchel that bunches them both up in the corner and lets him get the spray down. Then sprinting forwards, gets his nade back, gets enough kills to get his ult online. A masterclass raise performance here from Sick. That's why you want him on a duelist or on Sky, something where he can have that level of impact. Astra Jail, not for this guy. Get him on a frag and roll.
Yeah, now you're seeing him unleashed. Ball position by TenZ. He actually misses the shot. Feels like the first one of the series in some cases, but backing away, has the dash to try and get to safety, and NRG are trying to go fast off of this one. Som has the knives popped, the blade storm, and he's hugging this left corner. Are they going to be aware of this? Swinging round, that's TenZ locking it. A dash quick into the site, and Som finally is going to get the counterpart. The other jet on the other side, but they have not dealt with Douglas. Locking it down in hookah. They're all falling down in a final round. Celebratory Hunter's Fury there, dripped across the sides. 1 round at the half for NRG.
That's brutal. I mean, an absolute masterclass being put on here by Sentinels and TenZ, Bren.
Yeah, this guy, 19 kills at the half. I mean, almost unheard of in some situations with many other Jet players, but not TenZ. We're going to be going to a short break. When we're on the other side of things, maybe we'll see the possibility of a comeback from NRG, but it's looking likely the Sentinels might just be able to grasp the win here. Statement.
They just require every round at this point.
From now on, yes.
Yeah, it's incredibly rare. I can think of 2 11-1 comebacks that we've seen in recent times, but not against Sentinels. Let's take a look at what they're up to in terms of this pistol round 2. Certainly looks like a B split. Sick once more being able to find value with his utility. Helps them clear out Hookah here. As TenZ leads the charge into Octagon.
Oh yeah. Damage being done to eeiu. Has to just pull his way around. Here's the pull, and now they're in danger. Sentinels immediately just bursting straight through. Full dart there, just tag onto the one. This is nice. The crossfires finding themselves here, and I think NRG, and they're on the board, Josh. That's a Prime Gaming flawless. Is it doable?
Don't even bother talking about it this early. I mean, obviously a must-win round, but the journey is so long from here. But yeah, the defensive setup was pretty good. There was a huge amount of utility being used there, but the pop flash from Tex as he plays elbow is the critical piece, because it breaks all of the setups that Sentinels had and isolated that one player on site, and they were just able to pick them off and capitalize from there. I'm worried about TenZ with the Marshall. He's spent his 950 credits, and he's looking for a round win.
Yeah, he's honestly a mechanical freak of nature. The rifle in his hands, and okay, well, I mean, that's hazed. Shutting him down. No armor, obviously, on TenZ.
He certainly didn't hit the shot anyway, so that is the threat dispelled here. ShahZaM's going to pick it up, and, you know, he's certainly a prolific AWPer himself, or used to be, back when he would play a lot of Jet. But NRG look relatively safe here. Sentinels, though, are still 11-2 up. And we were talking about there's been a lot of talk in the community about the potential decline of this team. They won that major title at Reykjavik, made quarterfinals at Berlin, and then they got grouped at champions. But their losses have been to G2, to Envy, to Liquid, to Crew, like tier 1 teams. They haven't lost to people like NRG. And so that's why it just seemed incredible the way that the first 2 maps went. But now we're back into normalcy. And certainly, if Sick is able to close out this 1v3, it would be ridiculous. 35 seconds on the clock and hasn't got the spike plant down. NRG should be able to close this one out.
Okay, straight for the TP. No utility, by the way. 65 health. Does have the Bulldog, though. It's the one thing he's got going for him, but...
He'll just kill 2, get the nade back, kill the final person with it.
It's looking unlikely still. Taps a plan, wants to try and bait this swing from Storm, but the patience is being shown. This will end there towards that round, so still a must-win. Two of the guns there carry forward into this bonus round. And this is where it really does matter, Josh. I mean, at what point are we saying that the comeback is mountable?
It all depends on the economy, right? Because NRG can get themselves into a situation where a snowball happens. If they win the bonus, win the next rifle round, ults start to get online. It's not a fixed number where it starts to become feasible for NRG, but also you want to see it in their play too.
Yeah.
One of the adjustments here, Tech's not playing towards Hookah. I mean, they've actually got eeiu playing there, which is incredibly unusual, having your Sova play inside the Hookah position. But I think it's necessary to have Tex playing lamps, because he's going to be able to use his flashes, use his dog to clear out the lamps position and stop people lurking down.
Well, almost set up on that angle. Luckily, Hayes was locking it down. In fact, he's doing a good job there. Cleared both the boombot and the drone. They know that the Sentinel players now are starting to work their way in text. Oh, he's got a lot of responsibility on his shoulders here. Be able to hold this one down. Quick jump through that. Very clean. Dash to the side, and dapr's able to claim that one.
It's still a 3v3 on site, though, and hazed is in a very advanced position. Looking around the back there. The drone is coming out to help them retake lamps, and it's a fake plant. Trying to bait the swing.
Well, shock dart play there. dapr falling down low. Bring around the corner. He's going to go down here. Now TenZ does have the Vandal, but he's locked around lamps. They know he's in this kind of position playing off of Shaz. Both of these guys together, they can put in good work, honestly, playing off of their utility, but with some locking down the back of lamps. Oh yeah, I mean, that's just going to be an easy kill for them, and Shaz goes down quickly afterwards. So, the bonus one here, Josh.
Yeah, that's a good start. Listen, it's all looking good so far in this half for NRG. It just needs a few little tweaks from Sentinels, and they'll be straight back into it. I mean, not even into it. They'll be straight back with a match victory.
Yeah.
One pop-off from TenZ or a big clutch from Sick, and it's all over.
I mean, I will say
NRG,
this.
they have to tread an incredibly fine line.
If Sentinels do end up losing this map, they need to just go off. They need to get off social media. Because I cannot imagine the responses that will be coming through, man.
Oh, yeah. The Valorant scene seems to delight whenever a top team loses, falls from grace. Twitter would just be playing the proverbial violin and just cooking up s'mores while Sentinels hopium burnt away.
Oh, some off to the sides. He just sits in the pull, perfectly happy. He knows his teammate's got his back. And of course, there's the eco round here for Sentinels. So they lose the 2 players early, but TenZ not going to be able to get too much done. He tried to take the wide swing out. Tex needs to be careful. Doesn't want to put him a gun. He is going to start to back away, at least from the octagon position, just holding at that close pallet.
These are the rounds where you really... If you're Sentinels right now, you're not necessarily looking even for economical damage, I would say, but you're looking to build up those crucial ultimates that can help you correct the snowball that NRG is starting to build up. So, you know, people like Sick and dapr, even Shaz, actually. All 3 of these ultimates. Oh my. That is a huge headshot.
This is dangerous now. Next 1 HP to his name. Sick swings it around the corner. They're both low. Quick spray down. 45 health. He has the stinger. Some's holding the angle down, though, with the operator. It seems unlikely that he can get any sort of damage done.
30 seconds
No
left.
bullets in the sheriff.
25 seconds. I mean, this is not a winnable position. But, silver lining, Sick's death there gets his ultimate online. And dapr's as well. So now they have Raze ult, Viper ult into this round 16. And that's a deadly combo. You can, you know, if you take some area of the map in the early round, let's say Showers or Hookah, you can pop the Raze ult, clear the defenders off the site, and use that space to put down your own Viper's Pit that can help you massively in a post-plant scenario. So that's what I'm talking about with that eco round. Not only are you testing what does the defensive setup look like for NRG and prodding and looking for holes, but you're also going to get your ults online, and that is massive here. It certainly looks like it's going to be a push through Hookah. I think eeiu could be the guy to close this out. He's getting in a position to ult.
Has to back away. You have to respect that push coming through. Sentinel stacked up 4 players. Towards the Hookah side. Drone to clear over these smokes, and now it comes out. The showstopper. Double satchel finds the one. Still shut down by Hazed. That is eeiu popping off as well with that Hunter's Fury. Last shot being held down, and that is damage onto 2 of them. Crispy ultimate. 2 players. Hookah now in a bit of trouble. Somehow dapr gets away with that one here. Som wants to post himself up. That smoke going to be used. Viper's Pit used deep in Hookah. They need to regain this spike. That's why. On the ground, they're just spamming for now, and Som is playing so deep in this.
dapr doesn't have any mollies to check normal positions. A molly underneath Hookah here would be fantastic. Maybe Zombs can swing around and try and spam into this. If Som stays alive, it's devastating for Sentinels.
One enemy remaining.
And the close-up op inside the Viper's Pit. Okay, why not? A round win. And that was a
massive round.
2 huge ultimates, Josh. You were just pointing out the fact that... Listen, the way you stop this momentum, this economic swing that's occurring right now before our very eyes, it has to be from the ultimates. But
Yeah,
NRG, they just come out with almost a perfect response. eeiu gets huge value with the Hunter's Fury.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if I can read what ultimate Sentinels are going to play with, then so can NRG. Hayes is an IGL. He knows the game better than I do. So he knew that they were going to go for that Raze ult into Viper ult, and eeiu was in the perfect position to shut it down with his Silver ultimate. Those economical swing rounds are where people choose to invest the ultimates, and then the gameplay becomes predictable. And NRG, they get the leg up. This is where the snowball really starts to happen.
Tell you, it's a little thing about Som, but he's one of the few players I see who is really consistent at aiming at those jump peaks and finding the value. Even against the eco here, obviously. Ooh, drop down. Okay, Sick. Little pivot there is head, but Andrew's actually there. Swings out from triple, finds the trade. Spike down as well.
But TenZ has been given an AWP, and I've seen magic from him so far this map whenever he's had the operator in his hands. If there was anyone who could do it, it would be him.
The contact. He just misses the sighting of eeiu. Up onto the box. Checking behind triple. He's got to be meticulous if he wants to try and clutch this one.
At any point here, if they go for the pivot through the teleporter, hazed is going to eat them alive. TenZ has to find a pick.
He's worked his way into back sight. Plan's starting to go down here. Cosmic Divide. Splitting up the site. That's going to be pushing him off. You see that dart? Doesn't feel like he can stick this one. Oh my goodness, the pull. Someone's just about getting it off, but they don't know that TenZ has worked his way there. One smoke available to him. Pushes forward the quick scope. You've got to be kidding me. Seekers now. They don't want to let TenZ get out of hand here. On top of the box. Gets rid of one of them, but the Bladestorm's online. hazed works his way around the back, and now it is all down to TenZ. Still has the knives. Quick little jiggle peek. No more bullets left. Has to reload that one in the op. And this, I mean, if he does this, it's an absurd statement. Quick little peek over. One life. Not quite missing. Not quite finding the target he's looking for. The jump peaks. He's going to get shut down. Not able to create that magic, Josh, that you were referring to.
I believed. I actually believed
as well, mate.
The little jump peaks that he does in order to find just Tex's head, his aim was just slightly off, and they kept flying into Tex's body instead. But the quick scope got him his dash back, and it got him his knives online. And at that point, it's almost a pivot in the round where Sentinels could have exploded off the back of a TenZ individual performance. He is 21-12, but outside of the flashy performance of TenZ in that last round, which didn't even work, NRG have been creeping back into this game. The last 6 rounds in a row have gone the way of NRG on their defensive side. And Brent, I thought there would be holes in the NRG defense. It was the same thing that Ender was bringing up on the desk. Tex quite frequently plays hookah on his own as Sky. That's exploitable. eeiu quite frequently plays showers on his own as Sova. In my opinion, that's exploitable. And ShahZaM loves to op from really common positions at the top of short and in short cubby. I thought Sentinels would have done their homework and would be looking to abuse those tendencies. But in fact, NRG are making some subtle adaptations, like moving Tex over to lamps and having ShahZaM op from a variety of different positions that are booming them.
Yeah, it's just new stuff being thrown at them. Just little twists and changes to the usual setup. But this is an important round. Is this what we call it?
Brent. Yeah. Well, take a look at the ult economy. If NRG win this round, they are straight back into it. This is where the comeback is real. This round is the pivot point, in my opinion. Yeah. Shaz has got his ultimate online. That's going to be what the game plan revolves around, I think. They're going to look for short. Perhaps a drone and like a fake of lamps control. This is actually one of the rounds where Tex is not playing there.
A triple pushed up. They're going to be working away all the way deep.
They've got so much info in the first 10 seconds.
They know exactly where they are. Sentinels grouped up towards A. Drone going to be in play now. Look. Walking their way forward. Hunter's Fury to try and lead them in. That's Shaz. Good tag onto the one player, but somehow Android gets TenZ. Despite the tag. It's no picks going their way. Now the Viper's pit into lamps. Good luck taking that one away from him. Need something special cooked up here. ShahZaM holding it down into the back of the side. That's good from Sick. The swing timings. Tom will fall. eeiu on 6 health. The spike is planted.
zombs is making his way inside this Viper's pit, looking to be a rat. He's got players all around him.
If he gets one. Oh, what a flick! That is ridiculous. Viper's pit starts to fall now. He's worked his way back into lamps. This looks like Sentinels just scraping away this round. Just barely squeaking through it. Quick flash through as Tex tries to create a bit of individuality. Play just on his lonesome. But, yeah, not quite enough for them. Sentinels quickly wrangled control back of that round.
Match point.
It all looked good for NRG. They had the read, they had the information, it was going to be an A short push, and Android even gets that first kill onto TenZ, shuts down the star player. But then, with Spike dropped in the middle of the site, NRG can't get the rotates in fast enough to actually hold that position. And instead of trying to hold the Spike, Android makes the decision to ult in lamps. I'm not saying it's a bad decision, but it does give up the Spike, and Sentinels are able to come in and play post-plant setups. Here's ShahZaM going to push down short again. I said he loves opping from that short cubby position. That's what he's going for here. He's got Android to be able to cover and bait as well. But ShahZaM is taking his op for a walk, looking for that magical play that tips the momentum back in NRG's favor.
4 players watching him. 4 players watching this position. This has to be a read by Sentinels, right? Drone being used. It clears him back. That they explode out to it. ShahZaM tries to peek around the corner. Takes a quick shot, but he does not find his mark. They storm pop now. So much on this round for them. And this time the right click. Well, that connects. dapr's going to go down for them. Sentinels still... Commander's advantage. Might not be put off from the fact that's going to be the cosmic divider push through. Som with the no scope. TenZ up top. Tries to drop down. Met with a nasty surprise. The dog to clear through. And now a bit of pace. Som wants to try and at least hold this control. And the reactions from him. A third kill now. Som's can't even get the plant down here. Quick little updraft up top. Time to the swing from the rest of the team. And they know the last player's there. And Lamps. Good fundamentals. NRG shut this one down. No room to breathe in the rest of this map.
We have been talking up TenZ so much, and for good reason. The guy has 21 kills, but that was a spectacular round by Som. That was gorgeous. The way that he moved around, his decision to take another re-peek in short. That play, he can't really hear TenZ going for the play through short. He was on the other side of the Astral Wall for some period of time, but Som is exactly ready for that and hits the no-scope when it matters. Locks down Lamps, and even his updraft onto truck was traded out by the rest of NRG. Yeah. I mean, that's beautiful.
Wasn't just an int play.
Brent, it's match point for Sentinels, and I think NRG are at a tipping point again where they could get back into this map. They would have to win 4 rounds in a row, but Sentinels are 1 away from getting eco'd, and TenZ looks like he's only going to be playing with I don't even know, a Sheriff and Armor or something like that. I mean, this is another opportunity here.
Surely you give him the rifle, right? Maybe? I don't know.
That's what I would recommend.
If they're playing into this, money doesn't look good for Sentinels. NRG with a timeout. They're discussing exactly what they want to do here.
Som has not been able to find value down short. Shaz has been very disciplined. They don't give them any peaks, and they drone every time they're looking to take short control. So I think it's time for Som to take his wares elsewhere. B long seems like a decent idea, and that's where he's headed. Swapping places with Tex as they move both initiators over to A, which seems a bit weird.
When Som does this, normally they push him up on that angle. Usually a deep flash or something. They want to try and get him into that position. But yeah, it is Tex who's playing in Lamps. So Som's going to be working his way back. It's going to be the nade and a boom bot. They know that they could be taking space now, and Som has adjusted his positioning. Where that this push could be coming through, and... Okay, respect being shown. Sentinels are like, oh, we're just going to tease that we threw a bit of utility there into hookah. Now working our way back over towards A.
The drone just came down at A short, and Tex is making sure that nobody has lurked up. Now Tex looks like he wants to rotate. I don't know why they'd be going towards B here.
Oh my.
All right.
Okay. War timing there, going down just in time for TenZ to be caught unaware. Feels like the hand of God is just playing for NRG right now. I mean, they're finding these opportunities. It's crazy that they're getting these picks. Still, Sentinels, the kind of team you can underestimate even when they're 2 players down, starting to push forwards onto the side and the plant. Now coming down, the molly and shock dart not connecting onto default. I think that was the intended location for it. In fact, a bit disjointed again in that approach.
Sick is looking to try and make a play in a 3v5.
Oh,
this is when it makes sense. This is when it makes sense to go for an aggressive play like this. We saw it not work on Haven. Unfortunately, it doesn't work again. But at least the idea made sense. Now it's all down to Zombs in a 1v3.
1v3, catches the jump peak, tries to catch the timing on him, but not the case. Tex, nice little swing there from Lamps means that any holes in that potential game plan shut down, and NRG, it's their 9th round on the board. I think the money situation as well, looking into this, Sentinels, they definitely bought into that round.
Yeah, this is getting extremely close. Those first 2 opening kills are everything from NRG. Taking down dapr and TenZ to make it a 5v3 retake. And they've brought this back from an 11-1 half to 12-9.
I don't believe it. I actually don't believe it.
Sentinels are on an eco, but this is almost like... These are the kind of situations where you see teams lose. They've done all the good work against the rifle rounds, and then they just make a couple of mistakes, and the eco
you have to be careful. You have to show the discipline against rounds like this. Completely correct, Josh. Where it can get out of hands for them. No breathing room for NRG. You cannot make a mistake from here on out. Okay, hazed. You get tagged up, catches it, Tex swinging off the back. This haze goes down. Sick. Needs to be dealt with the timing, Sentinels. Oh, that's the mistake they were looking for. They're on the side. They've got the 2-player advantage and guns going no way. eeiu spamming straight through. That smoke he does. Next 1 straight bullet there just onto Sick. They're taking a lot of damage off the back of this one, and you've given them side control, Josh. This could be where it ends.
eeiu's got the drone, pushing some forwards into elbow. They don't have a flash to be able to get back in here, and the post-plant positions are lovely. The ult is getting used!
And it catches onto the fuse, and the pull right around the corner. Android's able to get two. Shaz, though, quickly there, finds another one. The headshots going his way. eeiu, 38 health. He doesn't know where the other player is. He's desperate for it. It's not to be. And just as we spoke it into existence, it's a thrifty round that carries them forward. Sentinels take the series.